Now let's begin the story.
I ain't your average cat. I slap box with lions. Ever since the 5th grade, kickball with tires. Made a mini fortune off a ripped off appliance. Money wanted stove back, hit dog with irons. Boogie need to find God. Shit dog, I'm trying. That's why I robbed the Deacon house. Man, quit your lying. I did it and do it again and then repeat.
H-Town's finest 16 Shots podcast.
I'm lightning with the blam blam.
Yes. It is us. It is the 16 Shots podcast with Young James Boogie. Hey, ArDuBB.
Tell me how you took it. I'm going to tell you what I meant.
And we have a special guest with us tonight. We have Miss Kendra from the Be Salty podcast.
Yes, sir. How y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Miss Kendra. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your platform, so our the shotters can get involved and check you out.
All right. Well, I started the Be Salty podcast. Initially, it was just about women. I went through a really bad marriage/divorce. And it was a lot of things that I experienced that I know other women are experiencing. So I initially started the podcast just for women. But once I got to a space to where I was like, okay, I'm healed from this. Like, this is not just a male bashing, I'm staying in this place type of podcast. We've grown beyond this. So let's talk about life after divorce and like how we can actually move forward. In that journey, like I found that men too were in that space, just on the other side of things, you know? And so I opened it up for men to come in as well and for us to talk about various topics concerning relationships, like marriage, dating, parental, working relationships, all type of relationships, and how we can really change the narrative on what we may have grown up with or been accustomed to.
I gotta get naked for this one, man. I gotta take my clothes off for this time. It's gonna get heated. I see that now.
I don't want you to start taking your clothes off next to me, though.
Let me take my clothes off, man, because I already see.
You're
I already
comfortable.
see. It's gonna be some stuff said, and I'm gonna have to take my glasses off. I'm gonna lay my astros down, all that kind of stuff, because it's gonna get real live. You talking about men and women? I got something to say. I'm
glad we're here. So, and I'm glad that that's kind of why I wanted to talk to you about this topic. I went and checked out some of your content you have on YouTube, and I thought this would be a great topic to cover with you. We had a person on last week whose platform it's about the male empowerment for Black men and young Black boys. And so from that, I had a conversation with a couple of people last week about that. So my first question for you would be, Black male empowerment, what does that mean to you in a nutshell? If you had to describe it, if someone asked you, what is Black male empowerment, what does it mean to you?
From a woman's perspective, it means who I need to be and what space I need to be in the moment I need to be.
Okay.
That's whatever he needs in that moment. I'm going to empower that man or men. It don't have to be in a dating relationship. Men that's in my circle, men that I come across. I'm going to empower you and meet you at that space that you're in, that you need to be empowered in.
Do you believe in equal rights for men and women?
I do.
Why?
Because I don't think there's a such thing as gender roles. Like, I'm not a gender role person. I feel like that we need to be who we need to be in those moments. Like, sometimes I may need to take the lead. Sometimes I may need to be in the back. Like, it's what I need to be in that moment.
I kind of agree with you, but I disagree somewhat.
You see the third bullet point?
What?
I think that's what we rolling.
No.
Oh, okay, go ahead then. Cook.
Well, okay, I don't want to jump the gun, but
I think you are.
Okay, but I ain't gonna say nothing then. I'm gonna be quiet.
No, I ain't say that. I just said I know what you're gonna say, and I think it's gonna roll with the third bullet point.
No. I was gonna say.
Oh, say what you're gonna say then.
I'm saying this. Like, there's a part of me doesn't think that equal rights for men and women makes sense.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. There's nothing a woman innately is expected to do to sacrifice herself for a man. There's no point. There's not a point where like let's say you have a PhD in psychology and I have a PhD in psychology and we're working at the same school. They're not gonna come to you and be like, "Hey, lift these boxes." They're gonna be like, "You the man, you gotta do that, right?" Let's say me and you both have PhDs, and a government comes in the room, right, and holds all us hostage. They ain't gonna say that the men out first. They're gonna say women and children get out first, right?
So I 100% agree with you on that. Is when it comes down to the physical aspect of it, of course, you know, the expectation is not there for us to be equal per se. But the way I view things is like this, and I'm gonna take this like biblical for a minute, because like honestly, like men are leaders for a reason because of the physical strength that they can withstand when we are faced with adversity. But at the end of the day, I also think like beyond that, women are more stronger when it comes to our emotions and things that we need to tap into on the other side of things. So it may not be in that instance per se, like with the strength part of it, but there's a strength within both that we have. And then honestly, if you look at it where so many women, Black women in particular, are left with men outside the household, we then have to muster up that same strength that we're looking for the man to have in those moments.
Disagree.
We gotta. Okay.
I know I disagree, because part of the reason why the man, well, one of the reasons, or a piece of the reason why the man has been pulled out of the Black household is because the woman has been complacent in ways to allow the man to be pushed out, right? They use the same tactics with all the races or all the different peoples in the United States. There's a reason why there are still men in other races. Like, it's not like they don't prosecute Hispanics or I'm sorry, Latinos or Asians or non-whites at a higher rate. They have a similar rate of prosecution that's higher than whites, but there's a particular reason why they're still in the home and the Black man is not, because and this is not the woman's fault per se, or I won't say anybody's fault, but the repercussions of slavery and of not have Black people as a whole on a hoarding type of me first, I gotta have it, it's not gonna be here for long type of mentality. So if I come and say, here, man, take this $1,000 or take this TANF or take this so-and-so, but when you take it, he gotta go, you're gonna be more susceptible to say, okay, whereas the others are like, no, I'm not gonna sacrifice this 5 minutes for 5 years. I'm not gonna sacrifice the longevity of my child's upbringing for this temporary fix. And it's not a woman bashing thing. I'm just saying that we can't keep saying that women are stronger, men are stronger, because in my mind, I'm like, a man has to be strong in all which ways. You have to be strong mentally and physically, because not only do you have to take the physical abuse that comes with just being a man, but you have to take the mental abuse of like, nah, we all know that these forces are out here against us, but then you'll have a whole slew. Why don't you just be a man? Like, you don't know all these things that's against me, why aren't you not giving me a chance why are you working with them?
So, all right, Book, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So if I'm listening to your take, by listening to your take, I can see that you could subscribe to, let's say, a Black male empowerment platform. With that being said, does Black male empowerment ignore the Black woman?
I don't think there should be any type of gender empowerment to begin with, Black or woman, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think it should be a male-female division. I think the more conducive way to attack a situation is to be like, this human being and that human being. And these are the things that this human being is more likely to do, because you have some women, like she said, that are physically strong and or mentally strong. You have some men who are like.
But what about this though? If one of, I'm sorry, go ahead, you go.
No. I was gonna say, so when you were saying what you said before, like I wholeheartedly agree with that. I believe that started with slavery back up until when Ronald Reagan became president. They pulled the men out of the house with welfare and things of that. Like all that works together, but it's up to us to get the information, implement the information, and start changing the narrative. So like for me, I can't dwell on that. That's already happened. It's past, right? Mm-hmm. So what are we gonna do now about it? So now I do think there should be empowerment I do think it should be separated and then come together. And I say that because the wants and needs that I have are different than a man. You know, I need to be reached at a certain space that a man may not be able to reach me at, right?
Why not?
Same thing as a woman. I was a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
I raised my son. If you ask me, I wish I could do a redo, because
Mhm.
I was that mom, like, no, you can't cry, like, be strong, you know, you got to be the man of this house type of thing. And I took away his God-given right to express himself and have emotions. So
Mhm.
now he is an adult. He's 26 years old who don't know how to express himself or his emotions. And
Mhm.
so I'm constantly trying to reinforce empowerment in him that I just cannot do. He needs a man, a mentor to meet him to where he is. I can only do so much as a woman.
Hmm.
I can't
go
meet
ahead.
all of his needs as a man. I'm not a man.
Yeah. I mean, I get you. Go ahead, Dub. Say what you gotta say.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, I know a lot of times we say that's one of the biggest issues in our community, the lack of male leadership inside the home. So when I look at a platform that's male empowerment, you know, I would look at it as a platform that's trying to teach these young men in the communities how to be men, how to add them back to that family element. I grew up in a household with both my parents, my mom and my dad. And I think having both elements in the household was key to my upbringing, molded me who I am. You do need both sides, like you said. I do see stock or value in having that platform that is dedicated to Black males and young boys, or Black young ladies and young girls. And it doesn't have they don't have to butt heads.
Right,
Like you can it's just like saying if my focus area, you know what I'm saying? If I love all sports, but I focus on football. So I'm gonna have a platform where I teach young men who play the game of football how to play linebacker.
Mhm.
It's not me denouncing all the other sports or all the other positions on the team. That's just my main focus that I'm going to contribute. And then you have other people who contribute in other ways for the greater good or the one common goal. So that's why I was wondering if you felt like you know, the Black male empowerment would ignore the Black woman. So do you feel that way? You don't feel it ignores the Black woman?
No.
Yeah. And I don't, me personally, like, so to me, I feel like we can't have sensible, and it's not us, I'm just talking about just as a diaspora or however you say it. We can't have conversations and not be realistic. Like, we can't be like, oh yeah, man, it could be.
What
yeah,
you mean by that?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, this could be, can be, it could be, but let's talk in realistics, right? I had a conversation this morning with somebody, and they were talking about I don't want to go there. Anyway, I'll stay focused. But it's like we can say what could be, how it should be, but we have to deal in actualities. The conversation we had was about alpha males, and it's like, well, and the guy was like, well, you know, somebody who the majority of people naturally gravitate to and think, and he's a natural leader. And I had to break it down. I was like, bro, no such thing as a natural leader. That's few and far between. Most of the time, somebody's taught that skill to be a leader, or they're trying to be a leader. And we don't want them. We all know that majority rules is not only the worst, but probably the most inaccurate way to do anything, right? So when we're talking about having something that's specifically for one thing, saying that I'm here to empower this side of a situation, or empower this side, the only way to make that thing be viable and make sense is to have women in there. It has to be women 100% involved in the making of that. It can't be males, or it can't be just women.
But
you have to find a happy medium. Like, you can't have, so it's like, if I have two people that may be weak in a sense, right? Let's just say I have a woman that has been wounded, and I have a man that's been wounded, right?
Yeah.
And they come together. Like, it's kind of like, how are they going to empower each other? You
Exactly.
know? So my thing about it is, if I have this woman and I do the work to get healthy, to get healed, you know, now I'm showing, okay, I can show you how to operate now that I'm in a healed, healthy space. I need that man to also get that same type of work done, do the same type of work, do the same type of healing, do the same type of things that are necessary to be conducive for a healthy union. Like, it's like, okay, let me put it to you this way. So like, for me, I'm an alpha female that knows how to soften up in my femininity when my man comes into the room, right? I know how to come down and allow him to be where he needs to be, right? I feel as though I cannot, if I wasn't in tune with the strengths and power and everything that I needed to be, there could be some type of intimidation when it comes to this man. And I could butt heads and he'd be the alpha male and I'd be the alpha female. And we butt heads because we both feel like we're equally the same, right? Not, and when I'm saying that, I'm not saying that we're not in a relationship, we're not the same, but I'm saying I know how to come down and allow that man to lead. That's what I'm saying. And so how could I be this way if I was constantly working just with I'm mixing it together. How could I be strong and understand the way I need to act in this relationship if I didn't get fed by someone with the same type of role? That's what I'm saying. I need to have my own role with the woman and then come with the man. I don't want to just be with the man all the time. Do you get what I'm saying? The empowerment piece, as far as empowerment.
Yeah, I get it.
I need my women empowerment, and then I can come together and I can get in tune with them being empowered together.
I don't know though. No,
but Boog, you're looking at it from the standpoint that the empowerment is going to omit one.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is that let's take men and women out of it, right? Let's talk about cats and dogs, right? Let me hear me out. You got 100 cats over here on A Street and 100 dogs on B Street, and we have to pass or on C Street. We got to all work on B Street. And us cats and dogs are not getting along. So in what you guys are saying is that I'm gonna congregate with all these cats, and us cats are gonna come together and figure out a way and heal ourselves from past traumas of these dogs whooping our ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we're saying.
Listen, what I'm saying. Let me finish. We're gonna congregate together with ourselves of these dogs not being in tune with us. We're gonna talk amongst ourselves, all as cats, and then go to the dogs and be like, okay, let's figure this out. Or what I'm saying is that in order for it to be right, it has to be the cats and dogs sitting together. I can't go over here in a silo and figure it out, because if I go in a silo and talk to this other, how are you going to get the perspective of this other side if you're not intertwining?
But you can though, because it's like being in a household, raising a kid. The mom is going to teach the kids something that's going to work. The dad is separately going to teach the kids, like as a daughter. My mom is going to teach me how to be a woman. My dad is going to show me how a man should treat a woman, type of thing. Like they're both separate entities teaching one person, but I come together at the end. Let's just say I make it to graduation and I come together right before I move out of the house. I'm coming together with both in alignment. Like, okay, now I see how this thing commingles and it works. But if I have one, and I'm getting that because I'm allowing that one to pour into me this way and this other to pour into me that way. If I'm just going straight in and my mom and dad are just teaching me everything all at once, like, I don't know how to effectively separate the two and know, okay, this is when I need to do this and this is when I need to do that.
I wouldn't, think so. It's not a plan from the get-green?
So I participated in a great example of this. That is how both empowerment sides, for male and female, can come together and work in unison as one. Growing up, I was a Boy Scout.
Okay.
You also had Girl Scouts growing up. So growing up as a Boy Scout, I'm a Boy Scout. I have male mentorship from men from our community who look like us. They teach you survival skills and all kind of stuff. There were, scout moms involved in it, but for the most part, it was leadership from males. On the flip side, you had the Girl Scouts. That was leadership from females. They, they went camping. I'm pretty sure they had different kind of workshops where females mentored young girls. It came together as Explorer Scouts.
Okay.
As Explorer Scouts, you were slightly older, and Explorer Scouts were a mixture of both males and females. Both male mentorship and female mentorship that are mingling with both male teenagers and female teenagers. And so it's all the values that you learn separately put together, and now you work in unison. So I think when you say the Black male empowerment platform or whatever, or the Black female empowerment, it's not saying we're omitting either one. I've
never said omit.
Let me finish.
Yeah. You said that. I didn't say that.
Let me finish. It's not about who said what. All I'm saying is it's not about omitting either one. It's always about working in unison. I can't have a male empowerment platform and not acknowledge the role that women play in our lives, the role that women play in mentorship and all those things.
I'm not talking about announcement. I'm talking about, once again, let's keep on that. Do you think that the Girl Scouts would be different if you had the Boy Scouts that were cognitively thinking like, okay, when we do archery, we're gonna make sure these girls are as skilled archers as the boys are. It's what happens is, and this we're not talking about theoretically, we're talking about actual.
I'm not.
Let me finish.
But I'm not talking about anything theoretical.
I'm going to tell you what happens in real life. The theoretical talk about certain things like, oh, we're going to work over here, and come together. But the actual in life, how many girls in gym class are allowed to just go over there and be girls? How many girls in school are for the last 70 years have been you girls go to home ec? And then how many boys have been allowed to just like, I don't want to do home ec, I want to do this. Like the actual applications have been, we're gonna silently push you over to these ways. And so now I'm getting only a heavy dose of one thing. And I'm saying that we've seen the results of that, especially in our communities. And in having the two parents in the household is not, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that we're going to be like, when I'm a male empowerment, I'm omitting women. I never said omit. I'm just saying that I'm saying you have to have women in that room with the men when we're talking about male empowerment. I have to have men in the room when women are talking about female empowerment, because I can't come up with an idea about you without you being there, because that's my idea of you, not what you really are. I'm just having a idea of what I think or what I believe. But if you're sitting right there with me, then, oh, no, I don't like that. Or this, I do like that.
My mother wasn't always in the.
Have a transparent moment with you for a moment and tell you, since you're saying real life, right? Yeah. You keep saying real life. Yeah. Let me tell you why I feel as though there needs to be a separation and then there needs to be a coming together. Mm-hmm. When I was married to a pastor, right? Mm-hmm. And my idea was this should be a good, happy marriage, safe, secure, and all that, right? Mm-hmm. This man not only physically beat me. When I say beat me, whipped me with a belt 47 times one time. Blood shot my eye one time. Mm-hmm. Several years of this, right? He emotionally, physically, spiritually, and mentally abused me. Mm-hmm. Okay. When I came out of that marriage, I could not receive from a man unless it was probably not even Jesus Christ. I could not receive from a man, period. Mm-hmm. I felt as though all men were somewhat the same. He was a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Mm-hmm. It was no way possible that I could have ever sat in a room in any type of empowering of a man and received anything.
Yeah.
This was a moment that I could only receive from a woman. There's a time where it has to be separation. And then there's a time where you can come together. Like there has to be a time to where I feel as though people in their own individual traumas heal before they can move forward to come back together.
I agree. If we're talking about traumatic experiences, I totally agree. But if we're talking about,
and if you think about it, most of us have all had some type of trauma, so we're all dealing with traumatic experiences.
I mean, yeah, yes. I mean,
on some level.
Yeah. I believe. I understand, but I still feel like. And like I said, speaking of real life applications, and first off, I apologize that you had to go through that, and I apologize that you had to that had to be your experience with men, whether they're a pastor or not. Period. But I think that my end goal or my end, because I see it in so many, like I see it daily. I see it daily, not just in my everyday life, but in my work. And now I see how these women are ignored in some ways. These young women, these young men are ignored in some ways. Like you said before, you have women who tell men how to be men. Yeah. And what I'm saying is, it's not, and what happens is you have hurt men telling men how to be men. You have hurt women telling men how to be men. You have hurt women telling women. You have to have a room full of people, like you said, who have done the work, who have healed or are in the process of healing, talking together. When we work in silos in any aspect, most of the time, you're gonna have to come back to the group.
But see, I don't think that's working in silos, and I don't think that's when my idea and what I've done in the past when it came to mentorship and being a mentor in these exact situations was you had a group of people who have been hurt, who have healed, and we're trying to show other people who look like us, whether if it's people of color, whether if it's young men that I'm mentoring, how to deal with these type of traumas, heal from it, how to actually treat young Black women. So I've been a mentor where I've actually did the work where I'm showing young men how you should treat young women. I got the mentorship from older men in my life who are mentors who I physically saw stayed with their wife. They did that. Mm-hmm. Look, I learned many lessons around my grandfather and my father when my mother and my grandmother wasn't around. And I've learned many lessons from the women in my family as well. And I've learned many lessons with them both combined. So I think when you're dealing with a group of people who are healed and they're trying to promote healing, you know, they're going to do those things where to work hand in hand once you're able to sit down with the opposite sex or the opposite person.
Yeah.
Hey, so I guess the next question will be, is Black male empowerment just another form of male privilege?
I don't think so.
What do you think,
I
Boogie?
think it's an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity for everyone. I think it's an opportunity for us women to show men how we feel about them. You know, us as women are always going to different empowerment type of seminars or conferences or things of that nature. And so I don't look at that as a privilege over the man per se. So I wouldn't see it as, you know, Black males being a privilege over the women. It's just an opportunity.
Gotcha. What do you think, Boogie?
Is Black what'd you say again? Is Black male empowerment another form?
Just another form of male privilege. And I only asked that because one of the young men I was talking to in this group, that's what he said. He said he felt like Black male empowerment was just another form of male privilege. And then he spoke about how male privilege kind of you know, hurt the woman in the whole. So
I mean,
as a whole.
You know, so before I answer, I'm going to answer, but just let me get through this. I think that the conversations that we have and the way that we speak on them, it has to be from a place of reality and understanding, right? Not saying that y'all not being real or not. I'm just saying in the diaspora, right? There are things.
Is that the right way to say the word?
I don't know.
Man,
diaspora.
Yeah, I think it's diaspora.
Yeah. So there are influences outside of our color that dictate 100% the way that we move, right? So just when she said alpha male, and like, there's no such thing as alpha male, or there's literally no such thing. It's something somebody made up, and then they made up, and they, I was wrong. 100%. It's a made up thing that somebody made a wrong diagnosis, and people are living their life every day thinking like, I gotta be the alpha. I gotta be the alpha. And it's not even real.
I'm not gonna agree with that, but I'm not gonna say you're wrong.
Okay, the fact
because I'm not
I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm gonna explain to you.
I don't believe in the take.
I'm gonna explain to you.
You've explained it to me before.
Okay, well, I'll explain it to her. The alpha male theory was a scientist came up, they followed wolves in the 1950s or 1940s, followed the wolves and like, okay, the alpha wolf is the one that's hunting so-and-so. The same exact scientist went back and he's like, you know what? I miscalculated. That was just that one group. Really, they're working as a team. It's not one person leading as a team. But once again, going back to group mentality and understanding and majority rules, the person who doesn't have the education or knowledge hears about this alpha thing, and now we have 50 years of people saying I'm an alpha this, I'm an alpha that, when the very person who created the term said I was wrong. I calculated this wrong. I was wrong. So if I created it and said I messed up, and you're still, not you, but a person still coming back and saying, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Here we go. So moving forward to the conversation.
Can someone not recreate the term?
But if you but what do you, if I build a house on a house of lies, what is my house built of? Is it sturdy?
What if that term is conceptually used as a leadership type of role? So when I think of alpha, I think of one, right, over the other, right? So when I use the term, I'm using the term as in a leader type of role.
But going, that's what I'm saying. So going back, that is, and that's where I was going. That's where I was going. A lot of the things, or some of the things, not a lot, I'll say some of the things that we try to empower ourselves with are based on another set of thinking that was based on another, like, okay, so if I'm saying the man is the head of the household, that's not necessarily the term of the thinking that was put in to this book. It was put in by some men who wanted to rule over women, who literally went, that was their thing. Okay, you know what? Y'all can't, I don't want y'all to have any power, so I'm gonna write this script to make y'all be subservient. This is not me saying, this is factual. You know what I mean?
Are you talking about religion?
Yes, I'm talking about
control?
Religion. Yeah. So now we have a thought process that's based on somebody else's theory, that's based on another theory. And how many people do you know are going to do the work to go back and be like, okay, well, why does this say this? Why is this? And how many times is going to come back to, well, the book says so, or my grandma says so, or if my daddy says so, or someone just like, so what I'm saying, and going all the way back to saying, there is no alpha, there is no leader. We're in a partnership.
So do you look at yourself as a leader, or do you just look at yourself as, I'm always in partnership with whatever I do?
I'm 100% always in partnership with it. Like, it's a symbiotic relationship.
So you don't, at no point do you view yourself as a leader?
Why would I be leading?
I'm asking.
What?
I don't.
No,
okay.
no.
All right, okay.
What I'm leading? Like, you have gifts.
Your household. So you wouldn't look at yourself as a leader of your household?
No, we're a team.
Okay.
Any situation I'm in, I'm a team.
Don't teams have team captains though? Don't teams have leaders?
The team captain is just the person that talks.
Do teams have leaders? I'm asking.
No.
So
Teams
don't have leaders.
But I'm saying that's a trick question, bro. Because
it's not.
Watch this. Because the team captain, does that mean he's the best player?
It's not about being the best player.
Does that mean
the team captain is not being about the best player?
At the end of the day, will have the final say so. Team captain typically will have the final say so. The coach will typically have the final say so.
But no, the coach's job is to lead. The team captain's job is to relay the message from the referee or to the team. That's his job.
That is so, yes, on the surface level of the team captain's job, that is correct. But also when the team captain is voted in, most times they're voted in by their peers with a selection process with the coaches. And a lot of time it's based off of said leadership skills.
They have leadership skills, yeah.
So again, that's why I asked. So you don't think like teams or organizations should have leaders? I know we know they all no, I'm asking you. Well, you kind of are if you're saying that there's no such thing as leaders. It's all just you participate in that group.
No, what I'm saying is that,
well, by you saying that, that's what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, and I'm very concise and clear with my speech. What I'm saying is that the way that we put a leader, I'm saying we all have roles to play, right? And me being the leader is the role I'm playing, right? But that doesn't mean that the reason why I'm in that role as the leader is because those are my strong points, right? That's my strong points, leading whatever we're doing, whether it be at McDonald's or whether it be a football captain.
That goes back to the question I asked. Do you believe at any point, are you a leader?
But in the sense of no, not me.
Okay, that's cool. That's all.
Not me.
That's all that.
Because what I'm saying is there's different ways because you can say yes or no, because what is a leader? Like, can you say a leader is this?
I think you can have qualities that a leader should have.
So, okay, so I'm asking you a question. Are there different forms of leadership?
Of course there are.
So all three of us can be leaders, and you can do it one way. We can all be in the same industry, all be leaders and all do it totally different, right?
100%.
So-
You can be three leaders
Yeah.
in the same industry, and we all three have different leadership styles because we all three might have different strong points or qualities
Exactly.
that we have.
So-
we're still leaders. We're in an environment and we're a leader of men or women in that group, organization, company, whatever it is. There's something that we do that we can do great, and we're leading those people. We might not do it all the same. You might be a math whiz, I might be a mechanical genius, and we're both leaders in the same industry
Yes.
with different styles,
Well, different. Not you different style. We can have
different disciplines.
We can have different styles, different disciplines, different strong, all that, and all be in the same industry. So once again, I ask you, how do I define the leadership skill if it can go across the spectrum of everything? So what is a leader?
No, so I do think that there are certain skills that could be for
A
specific
commonality.
leaders.
A commonality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
commonalities.
What's the
Now
commonality?
you might be able to capture an audience, be able to know how to talk to your workers to get them to follow you to do something.
Okay, hold on, free right there. I'm asking a
Power
question.
of persuasion.
I'm asking you a question. Is the coach of a team a leader?
Should be.
Okay. Let's say Bobby Knight and Isaiah Thomas, two different coaches, two different teams. One guy yells, screams, throws chairs and tables, right? And he's a great coach, great leader. Isaiah Thomas is over there quiet, not saying much. He doesn't talk much. Great coach, great leader. The spectrum could be from here to there. It could be totally different in the same industry doing the same
What
thing.
does that mean?
What I'm saying is they don't have any commonalities of style, nothing. One person.
But nevertheless, like they're put in a leadership position, so it's still qualified as a leader. Maybe a poor leader, but it's still a leader.
They're both great leaders.
But they 100% have a commonality.
What's the commonality?
Their knowledge of basketball and to be able to lead.
To deliver.
Their knowledge of basketball and of the game, and to be able to lead both teams, or they can lead people to be successful in said sport.
That's what I just said. I said that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I said the commonality of the styles can be totally different.
I didn't say. I said no. I'm not arguing that. I said the commonality is that they both have knowledge of said game and can lead players to success. That's the commonality. Now, how they do it is the difference of the leadership style.
So I asked you again, if you are a volatile, loudmouth person that gets to screaming and yelling and calling people motherfuckers and all that kind of stuff, and I'm a quiet, low key, and you win the championship and I win the championship. So what's the leader? Because you did it one way that's totally over here that I could be like, man, why you cussing them kids out? And I did it one way. I let my kids go wild and crazy and you're like, how come them kids are unruly? Or how come your team's unruly with their adults, whatever? So once again, what is a leader?
I think I already.
Ultimately, a leader is someone that people follow, right? So
Yes.
in both of those scenarios, they have people following them,
Mhm.
regardless of the commonalities, regardless of the delivery in which they have for the team. They have people following them.
Mhm.
You said that you are not a leader, that you are within a partnership.
Always try to be, because I feel like that I might have 20 years of expertise in this right here, but that allows me to be able to allow others to have what I have. So they always say, you're always training the person under you to be in your spot. And the person of you and we're all building each other. If we're all building each other, just because I got here first and know more than you, that doesn't put me in a position over you. It just puts me in. I know more than you, so okay, I'm gonna let you lead me to your spot. You lead me to my spot. But there's a partnership because I want you to grow. You want to grow. We're together. We're doing this together. We're more partners than coach teacher. And the most successful businesses or most successful situations most times are when there's a symbiotic relationship between the workers and the boss, in however you want to put it, whatever words you want to put on there. But it's symbiotic more than it is, okay, you guys follow me. That's why I'm saying the alpha male theory or the alpha theory is crazy to me, because it's like, if you're saying people are following you, man, we've seen 1,100 examples of that following being the worst thing in the world. Donald Trump was a fucking alpha. If you want to say what alpha is, that's Donald Trump's alpha. People follow him. So now we're going to call him a leader? No, he's not a leader.
Nevertheless, like regardless of what your viewpoint is on him, he was a leader. He was a leader. May not have been a good leader, but he still was a leader. He was put in position of a leadership role, right?
Well,
I personally believe that in my relationship there is a partnership, but I do believe that my man is the leader. I do believe that at the end of the day, I have strengths, he has strengths, we both have weaknesses. He leans on me for my strengths and vice versa. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, I'm gonna follow his lead.
Gotcha.
That's cool.
I feel your point too, Boog. You know, you made some good points. So I don't want to say that you didn't. You made some good points as well. So I understand both parts. I guess all right, we're almost done. I don't know how much time you have. I don't want to take up your whole night. So look, let me ask you a question. Do you feel the Black woman gets enough support from Black men in our communities?
That's tough. So it just depends on the situation, really. I mean, it's hard to say.
I feel like I heard it a lot with the Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez situation. A lot of people were coming out and they were saying you got to believe Black women at all costs, regardless of the information that you're given or before you can even get information, because there are a lot of people, and for good reason, that they feel like that the Black female out of most goes through a lot of drama, or not drama, but trauma, you know, things like that.
I do believe that. I do believe that we go through a lot of trauma, but I also think that we as Black women sometimes unconsciously, we become mothers in relationships, if that makes any sense, you know. And I feel like that when that happens, we take the ball out of the man's hand, you know, and we need to be able to give the man back the ball, allow him to make the shot, right? He's not gonna always, you know, make it. He's gonna have, we need to allow the man room for mistakes. And so I think because we don't do that, and we're always so hard on the Black man steps away, you know, from us. That's really what I think happens a lot of times. And then we're going to this man saying, I need a man that's gonna do this, and this. And the man is saying, no, you want to run things, run it. Like, I don't want to be, and that's where I actually think that alpha woman that he was talking about, that woman that wants to be in leadership, but don't want to be in leadership. Like, I want a man, I hear as Black women say, I want a man that's going to lead, but then when you get a leader, it's like, you still want to lead.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of examples of that where it kind of messed up the actual family element.
Yeah.
Because you had two people fighting over position. Yeah. Opposed to, you know, a relationship is give and take. You're gonna have to give a little to get a little. And I think in the long run, if you don't have that setup where we give and take, and maybe pick someone who's strong enough to lead. It might not be the male. Maybe the strong enough person to lead is that female, and me being the male, I have to be able to say, you know what, you might be a little stronger with these skills here. Let me follow your lead, or vice versa. So I feel that.
I don't know. I'm thinking of what y'all saying.
I've always been so intellectually, I'm strong. I would probably say like emotionally, I've been strong along a lot of the way. In my relationships, I have always been the person that was like the stronger person. Like financially, I've always made the most money. I've always kind of been the person to kind of hold it down, right? So while I was, you know, in that season of being by myself and being single, like I was telling myself, like, I don't want that. Like, I don't want to make the most money. I don't want to make like all the decisions. Like, I just want to be in a relationship where I could be a woman. Like, what can I just do that? So when you talk about like that question for that type of thing, like, yeah, I want to be where I can just be the woman, where I could just come home and relax and cook and just do the dishes and just relax. Like, I don't want to come home and always have to worry about how we gonna get this done or what I need to do this. Like, I want a man that's gonna lead.
Well, see, this sounds to me. I'm hearing. I'm listening. I listen strong before I speak. I try to, at least sometimes, most of the time, or sometimes. But if a man comes up to you and says, if a man says, man, I don't want to go work a 9 to 5, Like the conversations that, and this is what I always get trapped into, and whatever.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Oh, I ain't finished.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. Ask me a question about it. I'm finished about it.
Man, why you sound salty about it?
Because if it be salty, nigga, that's what it say.
You, I'm saying, I wanted to. How you be stopping me? I just wanted to ask you one question about
you.
You do.
Okay.
I just want to
record this, you know, right?
Oh, here you go with this bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
All I want to ask you a question is when you said as a man, and I'm assuming you're not speaking to yourself, but just like as a man, I might not want to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Would you be saying you don't want to work a 9 to 5, a traditional job? You want to be an entrepreneur or something like that? Or you just saying, I might not want to work?
What I'm saying is that the conversation, the entire conversation is it's not a fair conversation. When because we would say like a woman can say, I just want to be a woman and I just want to come home and not worry about X, Y, Z, right?
Well, I can say I just want to be a man though.
But what I'm saying is, but then the connotation when you say that is like, oh, you're not a leader.
No,
like
that's so to me.
What does that mean when you say I just want to be a man? What does that
exactly.
mean?
See, that's what I'm saying.
What's the man?
I would ask that question.
I would have to answer that when I say I just want to be a man. Then I would have to answer what that means to me. So with
that's
that,
what I'm saying.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
So in both cases, even if you have a woman who comes in the house and say, hey man, I just want to be a woman in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Then you would have to also have the conversation with her to figure out what that means to her. Yeah, because everybody are different. So in all of this, you have to, the communication is the key. You have to be able to know what either person or either party of the relationship, what that means to them. So like prime example, if you ask me, if I come in outside, I just want to be a man. And you say, well, what does that mean to you, Aaron? Yeah. Well, I'll let you know. You know what? I want to be a man. I want to be able to come home, be the leader of my household, take care of the bills, take care of the important things. We talk through whatever, we talk through whatever decisions we're going to make. Yeah. I want to be able to talk about it. I don't want to be surprised. I want to come home and be surprised. I don't want to come home, you got to bring the car in the driveway and we have a conversation about it. Yeah. As the man of the house, the leader of the house, let's talk about it. Let's see if we're, financially here to make that decision here. Boom. Can we take on this new added expense, things like that.
It sounds like control to me.
It's not control. It's not, how's it control?
Let me explain it because.
How is it control?
Because I'm saying, you telling me that I'm not picking on you.
I know you're not.
I'm saying this, if you telling me that I want to be able to control when they can buy things, or I don't want to be surprised by when things are bought. I want to be the head of the household. So if something is bought, I need to know first.
So like I said, and maybe I should have clarified. Yeah. That's why I made the example of a car in a driveway, a big ticket item. Yeah. I think if you're married, or if you don't believe in marriage, but you and your partner live a lifestyle together, your finances are intertwined. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. So
with that being said, no, I feel like if our finances are intertwined and we're in this for the long run and we know we have a budget, I think if you want to make a big ticket purchase like a car, we should have the conversation.
But the conversation I said though.
Listen, the conversation you said if I want to buy a car, right?
No, I said if we can afford a car and I want to buy one, I buy the car and you come, I got in the car, we need one, boom. And we good from there.
We're going to have a conversation about it. You do. I believe you do have, to have the conversation.
That's what I'm saying though. If we can afford it. Yeah. If we can afford it as a couple. Mm-hmm. And I go on a Monday, it's like, man, we can afford it. We got it. This is a $10,000 car. We got $70,000 in the bank. I bought a car. Okay, cool. We didn't need it. And I ain't got to tell you that.
So it works both ways for you. So you mean to tell me you can come home from work, and you got 70 bands in the bank, and your partner brand new car sitting in the driveway,
and we spent 10 bands on the car.
Well, I'm not putting a number on it. I'm just saying.
I just told you. I'm telling you, if we can afford it, why does it matter if I tell you or not? I made this distinction, and once control. I gotta know about it.
I think it's communication.
But why does it matter?
It does matter because
if we can afford it, why does it matter?
Because we're in it together, though.
Putting money into a place. If we both put in money into a place, but then you make a decision to delegate where both of our money is going, even if we had enough money.
If I'm saying so, once again, if we have enough money, why give a shit? Why do I care? Why don't I care?
Anything can happen. You got to plan. You got to plan for
If we can afford this, I don't give a fuck. If we can afford this, I don't give a fuck because I trust you and we're a partner. So if once again, let's put it in the form of teams. If I pass the ball to Dub and Dub can shoot that hole, I don't give a fuck if he shoot or not. He don't have to give my permission to shoot.
Yeah,
and vice versa.
But even if we're a team, but even if I'm on a team, I have to play within the game plan.
If you wide open, shoot that hole.
I have to play within the game plan. And so
hear what I'm saying. If you open, nigga, if
that's the game plan.
No. The game plan is to win.
I understand.
We're not gonna deviate from winning to follow a plan.
But your loss is not gonna affect my finances. Anything that's affecting my finances, I feel like we need to have a conversation.
That's why I say partnership, because there are things that I might do or you might do that you might have foresight but beyond me, or I'm just being 100 with me. I don't give a shit if we can afford it and it's not putting us in the hole and we need it anyway, or we were on the border. Fuck it.
So what happens when I got 70 bands, we can afford 10K, so I don't say nothing, you buy a car for 10K.
Yeah.
Then I look up and you buy a purse for 2K. Then I look up and you buy some dread for 5K.
But why I gotta be why do you have to turn into an irresponsible person when I just said you have to turn it into irresponsible to make
I'm not turning it.
Yes, you did. You said something simple as buying one thing. Now you gotta go to 4 more things to make it make sense.
But I'm not being irresponsible. I'm talking about real life application.
Yeah, one thing. But see, in order to make it sound like it's irresponsible, you have to add 10 things to it. I put one thing. You had to add 4 more things to make it seem crazy.
I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound crazy for one, Bug. I'm just having a honest discussion.
Honestly, what I'm saying is, why do you have to add on to what's there? We're talking about one thing. You have to add on something else to make it seem. I'm talking about this one thing. I'm not this person's irresponsible. They bought a car this one time.
If I bought a car,
yeah,
but I got 60 bands left in the bank and I want a $2,000 purse, technically I'm not being irresponsible.
But why are you adding the purse on there?
Because I'm just it's an example of these things happen.
No, but you're adding a purse because buying a purse. Let me finish.
Buying a purse makes you irresponsible.
Let me finish.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
But we're not talking about that. Let me finish what I'm saying.
We are, because you
said
it.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
All right, go ahead, bro.
We made one purchase. I was talking about this one purchase.
Right.
And in order to make that purchase seem like it's irresponsible, you got to add a what if, maybe so-and-so. Why are you adding a what if to a what if? Let's talk about this one thing. Don't add nothing else to it to make it seem to sway it one way or other. We're talking about this car. This one thing, this car. Okay, we bought the car. We can afford it. It's good. And it's all she did or he did was buy the car. So now you finna be like, what if? That's all we do.
Well, actually.
So let me ask you this then. Scratch the car, but I did see some shoes that were like $7,300, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, these shoes are nice, but definitely not gonna spend my money on that. But what if I was in the same situation that you're speaking of,
mm-hmm.
and I went and I spent $7,300 on some shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did not talk to you about it. We still have the 70 grand in the bank. Would you feel away?
I feel away, but I'll feel away.
Well, why would you feel away?
I'll feel away because one, I would be like, I didn't think that I had partnered with somebody who was superficial enough to spend $7,300 on some shoes. That's what I'm saying.
But what makes that official? You wanted this car, I wanted these shoes.
Because the car is an application that we're both going to be using. We're both going to drive the car.
It's my car.
So now you're not going to drive your wife's car. See, you gotta talk crazy or make it sound crazy for it to make sense.
That's not crazy though.
How you gonna have a wife and not drive your wife's car?
That's not crazy. Miss Kendra, is
that
crazy?
I didn't drive my ex-husband's car.
And he wasn't a good person. You see what I'm saying?
Well, time out. Dominique,
you see what I'm saying?
Whoa. Let's keep it a buck. The only reason why Dominique drive my car is because I have to buy her another car.
Dominique would drive your car. Whether you had 12 cars or 1 car, she would drive any car that she wanted. True or false?
False.
Yeah, but I could have driven the car.
You would tell her you can't drive this car right here.
100%.
Why?
Because it's my car.
Why the fuck are we? What kind of partnership is that? Where I'm like, this is my. I thought the fucking vows say, what's mine is yours is mine.
But you don't believe in that. You don't believe in that. You don't believe,
Who don't believe in that? I said I believe in a partnership 100%. A partnership doesn't mean I got my stuff and you got our partnership is together.
Well, see, no, you have to. Now I feel like you're going left. When I say that, I'm not saying that I wouldn't provide transportation for my wife. What is mine is hers. What I'm saying is, I have enough effects. If my El Camino was running, Dominique's not driving.
Because you don't want her to drive it.
She's not driving it.
No, because you don't want her to drive it, right? Sure. Not because if she said
she physically can drive it, yes. And if she physically wants to drive it, she can, but she's not gonna drive it.
What I'm saying,
it's my car.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Man, you know what? I'm not talking crazy. What I'm saying, watch
No
this.
one said you were.
I know, but you make it sound like I'm like, what I'm saying is, if I buy a car, my wife can drive my car if she wants to.
And that is why I'm fine with that.
And or vice versa, right? You can't combine. We're not gonna make the comparison we're not trying to adjunct buying a pair of shoes with buying a car, because I can't wear her shoes.
Well, I am, because I'm saying that that's something that you wanted, and this is something that I want. And that's the fact of the matter is, we have the money in the bank. Yeah. So regardless of who can use what, it's still something I wanted. I have put money into this account, so why can I buy what I want?
And in that scenario, I would say, baby, you bought them shoes. I don't agree with you buying them shoes, and I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna make fun of you about them shoes for as long as I see them shoes. But shit, we keep it moving. We got the money for. Why I'm a trip on that? That's what I was alluding to before, is that there's other influences, like the euro, the dollar is an influence on the relationship, when the dollar don't have nothing to do with the relationship in the long run. And in truth, the dollar doesn't have to do it. It's an influence because of our society, the way we live. But in the real life application, what it say, you can't serve two masters. I can't be that I want this union and it's union by God, and that I love this person so and so, and then turn around in the same breath and be like, this money is important. You can't serve two masters.
But money is important.
You ain't hearing what I'm saying. You can't serve.
Because the same book that you're saying that says that scripture is the same book that says be a good steward over your money. So like at the end of the day, if I've chosen this book, I'm gonna abide by it in its entirety.
No, you're not going to. You're going to abide by it because what I'm saying is the book literally changes from the Old Testament to New Testament. So there's parts of that book that might say something, but the literal coming of Jesus is saying, you know what? The Old Testament, that's before Jesus. All that, we're not on that no more. It's no more eye for an eye. Now it's turn the other cheek. That's literally what Jesus came for.
That's not true.
So you telling me we're supposed to be eye for eye?
Huh?
We're supposed to be eye for eye?
No, the only difference that came with the Old Testament and the New Testament is grace. That we not living by the law, which says that you are gonna die from sinning. That's the change. It does not, the Bible is not contradictory. It's not you play with all this and then you live all this. I mean, there's still nuggets in the Old Testament that are still alive and true today. So
just stand on this one scripture, because we can go into a whole long, but let's talk about the eye for an eye and turn of the cheek, right? Let's talk about that, right? Just stay on those two, right? Okay. To keep it simple. Eye for an eye is Old Testament, right? Correct? Am I right?
Let me pull that up, because eye for an eye
is 100% Old Testament. You can look it up and see. I know it is.
I don't know if that scripture is that literal, eye for an eye, but go ahead.
It's eye for an eye. If somebody take his eye, whatever.
I mean, I don't take the Bible that literal, because it also told a tale about someone living in a well. So I understand that the stories inside the Bible, parables, did allow you to learn how to live your life.
Well, watch this. If you I get that. Finish. Even if you say that, the eye for the eye is saying that tit for tat. If you talk to as a parable, it's saying that if you do this, it make the region equal, right?
All right, I can roll with you.
And then when Jesus comes, it's turn the other cheek. Yes or no?
Turn the other cheek. That's what I'm talking about.
There is. Man, I've been drinking. So
what's the? Do you know the actual scripture?
I'm trying to think of. But literally, Jesus' teaching is turn the other cheek, non-violence. That was his teaching. Or tell me wrong. Tell me what Jesus said. If somebody hits you, you hit them back with the same fervor that hit you.
He's not saying that you hit them back that way. He's just saying extend grace to people. And then if you extending grace to people and they continue doing what they're doing, then you dust your feet off and you leave them alone.
What scripture says a disrespectful tongue deserves a disrespectful ass whooping? Is that a scripture? Or my grandma told me that.
I think that's your grandma.
Your grandma told you that.
Okay. All right. So look, Miss Kendra, I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. We already an hour in. This has been a great conversation. I got to put my glasses back on. I'm not blind. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. I also wanted you to come on because I actually saw an event that you have that you're going to be doing here. I think in a couple of weeks. Give us some information on the event if you want to, how we can participate, our listeners, ourselves. And then from there, I would also like for you to let our listeners know where they can find your content at and how they can support your cause.
Okay, absolutely. So what I'm doing is I want to create a holiday for men. Like I feel as though when Father's Day comes around, all men are not fathers, first of all, but men are not celebrated enough. So I actually have petitioned for this to be a holiday actually on the calendar and celebrated worldwide, nationwide, however you want to say. So February 25th will be the actual day. It's going to be called Best Man Holiday. It's an opportunity for us women to reciprocate the way that we feel about the men in our lives, that they feel about us. So to pour into them, to empower them. We plan on having this evening be with, some pampering as well. But we're encouraging all men to attend, but the ladies, this is how you can get involved. We're asking for donations of $40. That donation will allow you to invite a man or send a man with an invitation. And you can come as a volunteer. On this evening, we're going to provide food, entertainment, and some pouring into the men. So it's something I'm really looking forward to. Again, it's February 25th. You can find that content on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, it is _be salty _ on Facebook. It is Be Salty. I do have a private page. You can also search it by Be Salty on Facebook. And that's for men and women. And we do conversations every day, all day about what we're talking about right now and everything else. There's nothing off the table because we do believe that in order for us to change the narrative, we got to talk about the narrative. So we have constant conversations. We do meet and greets every month where we get together and just hang out with each other. But you also can find me on YouTube at The Real Be Salty.
I feel like I'm in that group, Be Salty, because I always get the
you got to be invited.
I think I'm in the group.
You get the question of the day?
I'm trying, we out here in the middle of nowhere, so my phone's acting funny.
Cashmere Gardens. I ain't in the middle of nowhere.
See, bro, you ain't got to tell people everybody where you at, man. I was trying to keep it.
Who's gonna pull up on?
I don't know, man.
If they do, you got a surprise for them.
I'm almost 100% sure I'm in that group because I see it all the time. I'm like, be salty, man. I thought it was gonna be a little saltier. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, it's not really salty. I mean, it's salty, but it's salty in a good way.
I wanted to ask you that because when I went,
Be salty actually means like it actually comes from us being the salt of the earth.
Okay, yeah. Let me know.
I was gonna say I knew it had to be something because I heard Courtney, and Courtney told us that one night that she was on the panel or of the pod, and I was like, be salty. Yeah, Courtney a little salty. But then
mercy people, bro.
But then I went to YouTube and I'm like, there's nothing salty about this conversation. It's a cooler conversation. I think you had Kenneth on and you had a chef on, and it was a cool conversation. So I was wondering what the Be Salty meant, and now it makes perfect sense.
I'm sure I'm in that group because I get the notifications. There's always the question of the day, and it's really, I don't know how to respond to some of this stuff because it's like this is not. I don't know if it's like a trap. I'm like, this is not really salty.
It's a trap for you.
So yeah, I feel like I was just about to say it might be a trap for you, but don't feel like it's a trapping for anybody. Like you go in and be yourself, and then the salty part of it is like what I like to say is season. I like to say we have to season the world, right? And so that's just sharing your experiences with people, like letting them know, like, hey, you could get past this. Like this ain't the end. This ain't it.
I'm really, I have two. Before you go, I gotta get this off my chest because it was two things that really just chapped my heart. First off, $40. You know how long men have been getting assaulted for the $40? Like $40 is like $40. That's how you got for this day, $40. Now and then it's in Black History Month, the 25th of February. So
first of all, that was my idea, like to do it in Black History Month because it allows us to be able to celebrate men, and particularly Black men, in Black History Month, right?
Okay.
And then the $40 is just a donation for the women to do. Like I'm hoping that women will not feel like that's too much, or do they? Do you feel like
they can give above and beyond
$40? You know what I'm saying?
How much money do you normally spend on a typical day, Bug?
On a day?
Typical date. How much money you normally spend?
Man, probably depends on the relationship level.
Now, be honest, because I
I'm
know the
gonna be
type of
honest.
restaurants you like to go to.
See, there you go with that that fake narrative, man.
No, I said I know what type of restaurants you like to go to.
What I go to.
So you like a nice, maybe seafood restaurant, or
I don't
steakhouse.
eat seafood, bro.
I said seafood or steakhouse.
I probably go to a steakhouse.
Hey, they sell seafood at the steakhouse. Your girl might eat seafood just because you don't mean she don't.
I'm honest and upfront with most people, with almost everybody. They know what I do like, what I don't like, what I am gonna do.
Role play. I'm your girl, bro. I like Papa Do's. Take me to Papa Do's. I don't care if you don't eat seafood.
Look here.
I'm a cheap date. I'm a cheap date. I'm a very cheap date. You would probably spend under $40.
No, because we can go.
I said that because, so like, I tell you this. So like, my man told me when we first started dating, he said, you a cheap date for real, but we're vegan. We're both vegan too. So like, I don't eat meat, and I drink a mimosa, and that's it. I'm done.
I almost had a don't eat meat joke. You know what, man? Vegan food is okay, man. But if it get cold, it's over, man. If it gets cold, you might as well throw that out, man. It tastes like rubber doo-doo, man.
I don't know where to go to eat vegan food because I feel like soul food vegan is overpriced.
It is overpriced.
Yeah.
There's a spot on the south side. It's called Lindiana's. Like, it is so good. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, I know some spots that
expensive.
I'm trying to find. I literally get these be salty, and all of a sudden, because I'm in this west side.
Y'all involved in the group anyway. I think y'all have good dialogue. Like, we have various conversations all the time.
My dialogue.
This is a toned down Boogie, by the way. You get Twitter thumbs Boogie on some Facebook posts. It no telling what he gonna do in there.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I said, this is no cap, nothing. On a cool, like
I feel like people to say no cap, it'd be 100% cap. Not you, but I'm just saying. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is, like, when I look at a situation, like, I'm too old to look at a situation on surface level. Like, and so that's where a lot of the contention and the people be, because they'll come on a surface level. And I'm like, no, I'm too old for that. I'm too old to look at something at the surface. Like, I understand that there's roots and there's watering and there's planting and there's subcultures and subgenres and there's so much other stuff that's involved. And when somebody says, I want to be the head of the household, I
think you pull back so many layers, you confuse yourself sometimes.
No, man, I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, man.
How old you are?
Me, I'm
almost 50.
I'm
almost 50. That's why he got these shades on, Miss Kendra, because you know how them old niggas be.
You know what I'm saying?
You know how them old niggas be in the club.
I look younger when I take my shades.
You know how them old niggas be in the club. They be old around the eyes.
I look younger with my shades on.
And then he used the Beijing. I don't care because I'm married, and so I don't care about the grays. He used the Beijing, so that's why you don't see no grays. Plus, he ain't got no hair. If he had hair, he'd have more grays, but he can't grow hair no more.
I'm gonna tell you,
Kendra Mitchell, right?
I posted this in my group one time because I posted their DM etiquette, right? Is there such thing as DM etiquette? Simply because these guys come into the group and then they go through your Facebook, they look at all your pictures, they like 200 pictures from when you first posted, and then they go in your DMs and then they start just going all types of crazy, trying to take you out on a date and do all this extra type of stuff. And when you say, no, I'm not interested, why does it get disrespectful? These old dudes, but I'm just saying.
I don't know. Is it the same concept when you was in the club back in the day when we was all in our 20s and you walk by and the little dude on the wall be like, hey, psst, psst, little mama, what's up? And you be like, nah, I'm good. And then he call you a bitch. Yeah, you weren't one of them dudes, where you Boogie.
Have you ever heard me call a woman a bitch in spite?
Nah, I've heard us have locker room talk when I ain't never heard you.
You heard me talk, but have you heard me in locker room talk be like, she a bitch or like, I don't even talk about women like that. Really?
I've never heard you say, like, I've never heard you say anything malicious like she a bitch.
Yeah, I'm saying
I've heard you say, man, fuck the bitch. I've heard that.
Yeah, because she did something to me. But what I'm saying is, honestly, do I sit around and be like, let's say we've been knowing for 20 years, maybe 20, it's almost 20. How many times I've been like, man, me and old girl, or I did this to old girl, or you know, like I don't pillow talk. I don't
Fifth.
I pillow talk.
Fifth.
That's what I'm saying.
Fifth.
Hold on, no. If I did,
Five.
So he being funny. I'm saying if I did, over 20 years, I bet you can't count. You can't count on one hand. You probably count on one hand when I was like, oh yeah, me and old girl. Or I might have told you like, yeah, me and old girl. I'm telling you so you can know that's why our relationship. I'm not like, yeah, man, you know, I'll be doing this.
I'm saying that young James Boogie is an upstanding citizen, and I've never known him to disrespect females. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm in that group. I've been in that group.
He was just saying to me that, you know, I'm an old guy, so I do this, and this. I'm like, it's these old guys who act like they cannot take rejection.
But what it is, and we talked about this last part, like people don't have, like the way technology is moving and the way it's moving so fast that people haven't had time to be, it's not a norm. It's not a norm on social media yet. It's not a norm. People are still acting like it's 1999 and it's not real or it's not tangible. They don't really understand that, like, bro, when you put that on your page, your boss can see that. Your girlfriend, I don't think it's that. I think it's the ignorance where people get on social media, and because it's not that real life interaction. Yeah.
I can hide behind a keyboard or a phone. They're really being their true selves. They're saying things to people that they wouldn't dare say in person.
Or they're being a version of themselves because, and this is another part of it, they're being a version of themselves. So they're like, well, I didn't touch you. This is literally typing, going into an invisible space. How is you mad about something that can't touch you? You feel some type of way? I'm not posting a picture of you. I'm talking, you know, I'm not saying that's how I feel. I'm saying that it's not tangible. You have a large amount of people who have a tangibility issue. Like, oh, if I can't touch it, it ain't real.
I just think they're hiding behind screens saying stuff that they truly want to say, but might not have the courage to tell you in their face.
I'll tell you to your face, bro. You want to fight? We can fight.
I mean, you're not talking to me.
I'm talking to Aaron W. ArDuBB.
They should just be like, okay, and move on.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, bro.
They should do what? They should turn the other cheek, right?
Yeah.
Which is in Matthew.
You just Googled it?
Yeah, it's in Matthew.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And yeah. But I'm saying, like going back to what I was saying about being deeper about conversation, it's easy to look at, and if you have a surface answer for a surface question, you'll get to certain answers. But like I was talking about in the very beginning, talking about there are influences of why the Black man is out of the household, and there's a reason why the Latino man, why the Asian man, why the other men in other communities are not out of their household.
I had something real toxic to say, but it would have been super toxic, bro.
I mean, I don't judge, man.
No, it would just been super toxic.
I don't judge, but I'm saying, like, it's a definite reason, and it's because of a mentality. And until Black men and Black women get past surface level conversations about who's the alpha and who's the leader and get to the mentality part, the mentality is everything, man. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. But I don't think that conversation is surface level. I think that conversation actually adds to the conversation of the mentality of said roles that are played within the community and household. I think you got to have those conversations to even speak on said mentalities. My nigga, on some real shit, on some super real shit. It's not to you.
I feel like it is.
No, it's not. I'm saying we get 59 millionaires. I think it's 64 millionaires every year in the Black community. Every year there are 59, 60, I think it's 64, 59, whatever number it is. It's almost 100 millionaires that are indoctrinated to the Black community every single year. Think about that. For the last 40 years, not 40, let's say 30 years, but the last 30 years, every year, every single year, it's 50 to 60 millionaires that's in the Black community, right?
Where can I find out that? I'm not questioning you. I'm asking you, where can I find it?
NFL.com, NBA.com, MLB.com.
Oh, you're saying the athletes are these millionaires?
I'm saying, yeah, that's just athletes. Just talking athletes, right? So how can I go to these same set athletes communities and not see the fruition of what they've been given? How is there still the mentality is not there to think like, damn, I done made enough money and just signed this contract to be able to change the outcome of my neighborhood forever. Like I go to Worthing and I go to Yates, I go to Jones, I go to these schools, and I'm like, damn, man, how many millionaires came out of Yates? How many multi-millionaires came out of Yates? How many multi-millionaires came out of Worthing? How many multi-millionaires came out of Jones? Well, I can name 5 off the top of my head from each school, but then I'm saying, why is St. Mark's? Why is St. Joseph? Why are these schools have the amenities? Why are they finna close Yates down? It's mentality, bro. It got nothing to do with the service conversation about, oh, they got me. It's the mentality to know that shit. If I came out of here and I can make a legacy, I can change the situation forever, but the mentality of the group is not there. So we can talk, you can have all these surface level conversations about this stuff right here, and we can fix that surface level stuff, but we're still in the same situation at the end of the day. So what I keep saying is, it's hard for me to have those surface level conversations when I know that there's so much dirt that has to be dug up so that really we don't have to have the conversation no more. That's just me. That's just how I be thinking.
Ms. Kendra, it's been great having you on. Do you have any remarks in closing?
See what he's
at.
So where's my mind at? Because I said
on clothing.
Are you saying my mind is on her clothing?
I just know my shirt.
Because my wife is in another room.
My shirt is on fire, bro.
All right, then, thank you. Do you have anything in closing, Mel?
I just appreciate y'all for having me on. It was a good conversation. I hope y'all will be at the Best Man holiday though.
What day is 25th?
February 25th at 7 p.m. I'm sure your wife will have.
I'm pretty sure I will be there. If none of you flying ladies will be flying, I'm pretty sure if she's not flying, I'll be there.
What time is it going to be at?
7 p.m. You got something to do?
He don't be having nothing to do, but he gonna find her. See, let me tell you how fraud he is.
I'm saying he couldn't talk.
Let me tell you how fraud he is. So he left it the other day and was like, "Hey man, yeah, you know, talking about we gonna have drinks tomorrow." I said, "Cool, bro."
Damn.
No, I said, "Cool, bro. Make sure you hit me up so I don't forget and I know where to go." So yesterday I waited the entire day for my homie to hit me up. He never hit me up.
He said it was a hard day, bro.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Look here. Look. I am responsible.
You know what? It's okay.
I can't. You can call me whatever you want to, but then when I have to respond, you're like, no, don't respond.
I don't want. Your response is going to be long-winded. We'll have to
give me 2 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes when Miss Kendra gets off.
Okay, Miss Kendra. You know, he gonna forget. He gonna change the subject and it's gonna be like, so what's up with the ruckus, man?
Join Be Salty on Facebook. It's a private group, but join it.
I'm already in there. I just posted just now.
Okay.
Literally just posted.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time, Ms. Kendra. We want to have you back on. We would love to come to your platform. So if you ever have a discussion that you want to have two semi-drunken adults on to talk, okay, we would love to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. Enjoy your night.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Y'all pushing buttons. Anyway, well, I gonna say the Cowboys win, man.
I hope not, man. You know, if the Cowboys win, their fans will be unbearable. And now that we're on unbearable fans, got a question for you.
What's that?
I know that you are a lover of the NBA.
Cowboys lost.
Yes, you are a lover of the NBA.
I'm a liker.
Hold on. Say that one more time.
Cowboys lost.
Yes. So we got, hold on, who won out of the Bills and the Bengals?
Oh, the Bengals beat the doo-doo after
Yeah, so we got Bengals 49ers. No. We got Bengals Chiefs again.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have 49ers Eagles again.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, Joe Burrow for president. No, I'm talking about who you think? Do you think that that Pat Mahomes can beat the Bengals on one leg?
I don't know, man. You know what? Joe Burrows, man. Joe, you know, I fucked with all the JBs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Joe Burrow is the closest that we've gotten to Hollywood Joe Namath. I'm not saying play on the field.
Oh, you talking about his?
Yeah. I ain't talking about play on the field. I'm talking about his swagger he brings. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, homie lighting up cigars in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that he will be.
22 years old, man.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Oh, man.
You know, Hollywood Joe walked out there with the homie had on mink on the sideline. I feel like Joe Burrow will pull a mink on the sideline if he get away with it.
You know, let's talk about that. You opened up a can of worms. I'm gonna go there, man.
Which can of worms? Joe Burrow or Joe Namath?
Nah, just this.
Because I got a question for you about sideline people. But go ahead.
Go ahead, sideline people. Talk about sideline people there.
How you feel about your uncle?
Talking about
Uncle Shay Shay.
Uncle Shay. How I feel about
How you feel about Uncle Shay Shay?
Okay, first off, what I feel about it, I feel like he did what he was supposed to do, and I think that it was misconstrued on the part of John Morant's dad, because looking at it and watching it the whole time, he wasn't on no combative shit.
Who?
John Morant's dad.
Yeah.
Even when it was a brouhaha, he was trying to go talk to Shay.
He was.
You know what I'm saying? He was like, they was pushing him because they was tripping. Now, Dylan Brooks, who was dating the tranny for a long time, I don't know if he still is.
Whoa. He was what?
Dylan Brooks is dating the tranny.
I mean, you know, if that's what he likes. I'm not gonna shame you.
Yeah.
We don't kink shame here at 16 Shots Podcast.
Dylan Brooks is very mouthy.
Yeah. Can he back it? So I don't know too much about Dylan Brooks. Does his play back it up?
Yeah, all of them. The Grizzlies got a squad.
I mean, you know, all Shannon Sharp truly said was you too small to hold LeBron. That's what he told him.
Yeah, which is some whole shit to say to somebody.
I mean, I think this is the thing. I don't think they know I don't think that they know how to separate First Take Shannon Sharp versus fan of the Lakers and LeBron lover Uncle Shay Shay on the sideline. And I think, you know, Spike Lee will give you banter. Kevin Hart will give you banter. Is that the right word, banter?
Yeah, but I wouldn't put them in the same category.
No, I'm just saying, you know.
And that's why I think
Shannon Sharp will give you, you know, banter on the side. I mean, look, bro, you get millions of dollars to play a game and you have people within footsteps of the court. If they want to tell me I'm too small to guard LeBron James, I'm going to be like, hey, bet that, old man. And then I'm going to man up and I'm going to show him I can shut down LeBron. And then when I shut him down, I'm going to walk over and be like, guess I ain't too small, huh? Pause.
What I'm saying is, like, have you noticed that in the last 10 years, Spike Lee ain't been talking like that?
Because he old.
No, because the way Spike Lee would talk back then, it was an understanding between Spike Lee's in the same era as Michael Jordan and Pippen. So when Spike Lee talked crazy, Pippen went up there, sit your bitch ass down. After he said to him, sit your ass down.
All right, but that's the other piece too, though. How tall was Scotty? How tall was Scotty?
6'7".
I mean, when a 6'7" Scotty Pippen comes over there, or what Jordan, 6'4"? Jordan was what, 6'6"?
6'6".
When 6'6" Jordan and 6'7" Scotty Pippen walks over to 5'10", you know, Mookie, whatever his name was, and be like, hey man, shut your bitch ass up.
No, what I'm saying is it's an understood exchange because we're on this, like, I think if it came down to a Spike Lee, a squad of niggas, I don't think he would not fight them.
I wouldn't. If I was 5'10", I ain't fighting no 6'7" nigga.
But that's what I'm saying about the eras, bro. It's different eras. Like, I don't
Whoa, let me ask you a question.
What?
Do you think if homie really would have ran up on Shannon Sharp wouldn't have put hands on?
That's what I'm talking about.
You think Shannon Sharp wouldn't have put hands on?
No, I'm saying Shannon Sharp is from the era of put your hands on somebody.
Oh, okay.
But Dylan Brooks
ain't from that era.
And John Morant ain't from that era. Steven Adams is from a different place.
So he's from that culture.
He's from that culture of, like, we put hands on people when it's time to put hands on people. Like, so it's like, speaking on that, like, it's just a different era, bro. Like, it's like when you say Joe Burrows is the new Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Only topically, bro, because Joe Namath was out there fucking hoes and come to the games fucked up.
Well, we know what Joe Burrow does. I will say,
you know, because it's you can't hide it no more.
It's a different NFL. So the things that Joe Namath and Lawrence Taylor could get away with, these newer generation guys can't move like that because there's too many cameras involved. So they have to be even more stealthy. They have to be more stealthier than the stealthy. they have to hire stealthy guys to protect them from the other stealthy guys, so they can do their dirt stealthy.
I think it's that it's the cameras too. That's one part of it, but also it's just a different, like, once again, mentality, bro. Like, there's a guy, his name is have you ever seen Boys in the White Man Can't Jump, right?
The new one?
No, the original.
Yeah, of course I've seen it.
Okay, remember the scene where I'm gonna go to my car, I'm gonna shoot all y'all, right?
You better not say that no more.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember that guy.
Okay, that guy's a real NBA. That's Marquise Johnson, I believe. He's a real NBA player or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He based that character on a real guy named Ronnie Harding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ronnie Harding was a pimp out of Detroit.
Mm.
Played high school basketball, Detroit legend.
Yeah.
Went to college, got kicked out, ended up playing in the league for like 5 or 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy who literally would go to the store at 7 foot, put on the mask and rob the store and be like, man, we know it's you, man. You 7 foot, man. How you gonna, we know it's you. It ain't me. Like,
I'm glad you said that. I got a funny story I can't sell the pod, but that's hilarious.
Yeah, but we know it, that like that he was like, but then in the same breath, he got on the court, like, so he went to college 1 year, didn't play, got drafted in the NFL anyway, NBA anyway. He gave Wilt like 27 and 15, he's supposed to be the next Wilt, 7-footer. You know what I'm saying? But he was also a pimp. He used to have his girls come, like, when he on the road, he'll call girls over to hit the teammates, right?
See, now we got to talk about this.
What?
At what point, and this still goes on to this day.
Yeah.
At what point do you realize, hey man, I'm in a whole new tax bracket? Now I understand back then they didn't make the money that the players make now.
Exactly. So he wasn't in the tax bracket. He wasn't. He wasn't.
You know,
he wasn't in the new tax bracket.
When I'm looking at it, I have you know what, you might be right. In my mind, I'm looking at it like I have the potential to do this. Why am I going to? You're right. You're right. I might be trying to look at it too logically.
Looking at it from a 90s perspective or
I'm trying to.
perspective. This is in the 60s and the 70s, bro.
All right.
So like it's different. Like, and this goes all the way to me talking about Sheila Jackson Lee and Mickey Leland and Judon Boney and Sylvester Turner. To know what they went through and what they know and what that, like, think about when we go to a city hall or when Obama went to city hall, like, it was a big brouhaha that somebody like said, oh, when he was talking as the president, that was like, man, they interrupting the president, right? How many niggas and bitches and black hoes and dumb niggas and was Mickey Leland, was Sheila Jackson Lee? Like, what kind of the baseline of disrespect has only gone up over the years. The baseline of what's acceptable is always in society was supposed to, like, a house having running water. That's like, you don't got running water. But in the 60s and 70s, it was houses in Houston.
But that's evolution, bro. Like that's progression.
That's what I'm saying. There's also
it's supposed to happen.
That's what I'm saying. But there's also a cultural revolution as well. See what I'm saying? So, like, there's things that was said culturally and wasn't thought twice about, and not like him having 2 girls to come or having girls on the road. Culturally, that was accepted.
Oh, I'm not tripping on it. I mean, it's accepted today. I'm not.
No. So you think that
these NBA players, NFL players have women in every city now?
No. You think that Joel Embiid, or not even him, let's say, who's the backup center for the Rockets? I don't know. The backup center for the Rockets could fly in 2 girls from wherever and bring them on the road, and like, y'all gonna fuck the stars of the team. And what ended up happening was one of the girls didn't pay, so he took over the balcony and held over the balcony. Like,
you can't do that in any climate.
He did it then.
You're supposed to. I mean, we know about it. We know about it, so he didn't get away with it.
Yeah, he did. He still played.
How long did he play in the league?
He played like 3 years in the league. He just fizzled out because of drugs.
Oh, okay. So there were effects to his lifestyle.
No, see,
it was no. His demise, part of his demise, were the effects of his lifestyle. He didn't get kicked out the league because of his lifestyle. That he got caught doing this shit. He eventually lost his opportunity because of his lifestyle. That's what I'm hearing, right?
No, kinda.
It ain't no
Yeah,
kind.
kinda.
If you told me he fills it out because of drugs and other shit, that he didn't get kicked out the league because he didn't have the talent.
No,
He got kicked out of the league because of his lifestyle habits.
him even getting into the league is like he didn't go to college, bro.
I get again. That's why I said,
You know who Lloyd Daniels is?
you know, I don't know who these people are, bro.
This is the 90s.
So I didn't watch basketball. If the nigga name was Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Scottie Pippen, Penny Hardaway, Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon, Vernon Maxwell, the Admiral,
watch this.
Charles Barkley,
You know who Ken Norris is, right?
the boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how he got discovered, right?
No,
He was pitching in Dallas. I think it was Dallas. Yeah, he was pitching, and he hit a kid, and the kid ran up on him, and he knocked him out. And then the first baseman came to try to back up or the guy on first base came, knocked him out too.
he was an adult or a kid.
He was a kid.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool.
what I'm saying. Well, 13, 14, whatever.
Yeah,
And that's how he got discovered. So
and they're like, he got a mean left hook.
yeah. Now in today's climate, that same scenario, that kid's a juvenile delinquent. He's going to jail because the standard of how you react has changed. It's changed.
I mean,
The exact same thing that he did.
I mean, Tyson was beating up niggas and going to jail, and then
That's in the 80s. In the Tyson 54 now.
Finished though.
Okay, go ahead.
I said Tyson was beating up niggas and going to jail, and they was like, "Why don't you channel all that aggression in the boxing ring, champ?" And so that's how he got discovered, by beating niggas up, going to jail. But I get what you're saying. But I'm just saying it happens.
The climate changed. Like in the 80s and the 70s and 60s, things that you did then.
In the 90s, I could punch a nigga in the face and just get a slap on the wrist with juvie or something. Now I punch a nigga in the face, then I'm gonna go to jail, have misdemeanor, I'm gonna get a civil lawsuit, all that shit. I get what you're saying.
They ain't had no thing called terroristic threats in 1997.
They should have though.
They ain't had no thing like we had guys.
What's a terroristic threat? Give me an example of what you think it is.
I'll blow this bitch up.
Yeah, you can't say that no more, bro. Because it's been too many blowing these bitches up episodes with terrorists though.
Has it for real?
I mean, you know, a nigga blew up Oklahoma City. I'm pretty sure he said that before. I'll blow this bitch up and ain't bleeding. So then he blew up the World Trade Fair Center in Oklahoma City. And then we knew what happened with 9/11. And, you know, we know about the Olympic pipe bomb. All these people may have said the phrase of, I'll blow this bitch up. So you got to make that a terroristic threat.
But you know that Timothy McVeigh was in like 90 something.
I'm just saying, because the actions of these guys, bro. I'm just saying that's why you can't say it now.
They've been school.
That's why you can't stand up in your class and be like, man, I'll shoot this bitch up. I add this hoe out. You can't say that, bro. Because now in our climate we're in, there's been too many examples of mass shootings. You can't say that.
In the 60s, like there was a gunman at PB.
100%. The worst mass shooting in U.S. history. I think it still stands. I don't know if the Las Vegas thing took the cake.
Yeah,
but it was like, was it at UT with the rifle?
That wasn't the worst, but that was one of them. But you know, there was also.
I'm talking about when I say the most killings, bro. Like homie killed a bunch of people with that with the little bolt action.
Yeah, you know, there was a mass shooting at PB too, right?
Not surprised.
In the I want to say the 70s. You know, and then there was like the climate. Well, not trying to be like one up you, but I'm just saying like the climate.
I feel like you're trying to.
No. That's why. But what I'm saying.
I just wanted to feel that way.
I know.
I really don't feel that way. I just want to say.
Okay, what I'm saying, like the median of what's acceptable. Every decade, every generation, it changes and it goes. You know, like it changed. Like here's another example. When I was I think 8, I went to Vegas.
You was in Vegas at 8? You old, man. What was it like in 72?
I went to Vegas when I was 8.
Like 72, right?
My aunt was getting married, right?
Your aunt got married in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
Your African aunt got married in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
They flew to Vegas and had a Vegas wedding, right?
Where did they fly from?
Southwest, from Houston. Well, we drove to Dallas and went to Houston.
Oh, okay.
I mean, drove from Houston, Dallas, and flew to Vegas, right? Okay. So on the flight, we get over, I want to say, we get over El Paso. Boom, light comes on. Cigarette light goes off. Boom, people lighting up cigarettes, drinking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you used to smoke planes.
That's what I'm saying, the climate, but then 20 years later, like our kids would never ever see cigarettes on a plane.
That's the dumbest thing to think about, smoking on a plane.
that was a normal thing. The
I didn't say it was normal. It was dumb though.
Yeah.
The secondhand smoke. What could happen if there's actual fire on the plane from someone falling asleep with a cigarette in their mouth?
You can go to the doctor, bro, and the doctor be sitting talking to you like, yeah, man, I think you need to stop, and he the whole time. Yeah, I think you did literally.
I've never had an experience of that.
I know, because you weren't born in the 50s.
So you've had an experience somebody smoking in like the doctor smoking while they
I'm saying in the 50s and 60s, doctors were smoking in the doctor's office.
While they was talking to you about your cancer, they smoking.
Yeah, bro.
I'm not saying you're lying. I'm not.
You know that at one point they put asbestos in the cigarettes to stop you from. They was like, oh, these filters aren't good stopping the carcinogens, so they put asbestos in the cigarettes.
Yeah, because they didn't know the effects of asbestos.
That's what I'm saying.
I've said that already.
Yeah, it's so many things, but the level
they've got new information now. So because now that they have the new information, the whole phrase, you know better, so you do better. So now that they have that information, hold on, man, it's more toxins coming out of this secondhand smoke than it is going into the person's lung who's smoking. So maybe we shouldn't have the smoking in its closed-in place. Of course, we all remember when you go like to your favorite restaurant, you say you want smoking section and non-smoking. Hey, let us sit in the non-smoking. Yeah. And I might get a booth in non-smoking and I'm sitting here and there's a half wall right here. And then on the other end of the half wall, there's a whole grouping of people smoking a bunch of Newports and Winstons. Yeah.
Not even Newports, smoking Marlboros that burn through anything. Yeah, man. But
so to take it back full circle, Shannon Sharpe is my hero, bro. I am a spot. Look, you asked me one day. You said what motivates me, right?
Yeah.
I
answered it. You kind of answered it, but
I didn't kind of answer it. I answered. I said I motivate myself.
Yeah, and I really felt kind of way about that.
You can feel however you want to feel about it. I motivate myself, though.
I believe
I am my own inspiration.
Okay, man.
But only when it comes to being a fashionable 50-plus-year-old.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharpe is my motivation.
He ain't fashionable to me though.
Shit. So I looked at his whole fit because I follow Uncle Shay.
Yeah.
And I saw the timeline before the fight. And I looked, he had shoe surgeon ones on. I know how much those cost. His cardigan that he was rocking
was $7,300. Yeah.
I love it, bro. I can't afford it, but I looked at it and I was like, man, I would rock that. Before I knew how much it cost.
Yeah.
Before the fight started, I looked at the IG and was like, yeah, man, that's a fire ass coat. I know I can't afford it, but that's fire.
You a fly guy, man.
And then homie had the little Merce. My wife is against the Merce. I am a backpack guy. I am 100% secure with my sexuality. And I would rock the Merce.
You hear all of them qualifiers you put on before you said so?
I'm 100% secure with my sexuality. I'll rock a Merce, bro.
I'm not saying you can rock whatever you want to.
I know I can.
I'm just hearing you put all these qualifiers on that. Bing, bing, bing. Man,
I'll rock a Merce. I wouldn't rock a legit woman purse, but I like the man bags.
The man bags is the purse that men wear. But
just know I got some shit up in there. If you run up on me, you go, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, Young Thug.
I don't want to dress to hide the stick. So I ain't Young Thug, bro. Don't confuse me with Young Thug. I said I'll rock a Merce and don't run up on me because I have something in there for you.
So this weekend, this Friday and tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Monday.
What's the day?
Sunday.
Damn.
This Friday and tomorrow, I've been put in a situation where, because you all sound friendly.
You are a jolly guy.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. I sometimes wish I was as jolly as you. Go ahead, tell your story.
You are jolly, bro. You be lying about your jolly. You be trying to hide your jolliness. I don't know why you afraid to be jolly. You friendly, man. You're a nice guy.
I am a nice guy. I'm not afraid to be anything, bro.
Well, then just be friendly and nice, bro.
All I said was I'm not as jolly as you.
Okay, I can agree with that. Maybe not as jolly.
I'm not.
Okay. But I was put in a situation unbeknownst to myself. I kind of felt it coming because I was like, I think my guy over here. I was like, I don't know. Because there's a lot of people that I know from I've been in different stations in life in different places and formed relationships, whether they be temporary or small, whatever. And so one of my guys is the head coach at one of these charter schools. I don't want to say the name of it because I don't want to fuck it up for them. But they put me over. They said they had an issue over there with fighting or whatever. So it's like, hey, we send you over here because they was wild over here. We need some strong people over there.
Some strong leadership, maybe.
Some strong refs.
Some strong leadership, maybe.
Strong refs.
Isn't a referee a leadership on the court?
No, he's the what you call it? He's the authority.
Yeah.
Authority, not leadership. I'm not leading shit. I'm just whatever. So
okay.
Nice try, though. I feel you. I feel where you're going.
No. I mean, yeah, authority is a symbol of leadership. But go ahead though. So Academy is the authority of sports and outdoors. They're the leader in Texas. Go ahead though.
So I get there and I'm like, and the other two guys are not privy to the relationship that I have with said coach. So as when he walks in, I'm like, oh man, not this guy, man. It's not the I have you ever felt obligated to keep it 100 with somebody? Like you always try to keep 100, but like some people are like, man, bruh, you know how we get down.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like you're right. So I feel like, if I'm in a place of business and I'm whatever it is I'm doing, and you walk in, I do feel obligated that even though I keep it 100 with everyone, I'm obligated to not have any funny business going on with you. I got to keep it all the way
100 right?
with you because you fam, and I'm not gonna screw over the fam.
Now, to take it a step further, whatever kind of damn fool you think I am, I can't say where he from because people can push it, but he is a goddamn fool. You know what I'm saying? He is a fool. So there's points in the game where he's telling me about the other refs. And he's like, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with him because he'll keep a buck with me. So he like, you gonna let this cornbread, he going off on him to me about the other ref. And I can't be like, nah, that's not true. Because I'm looking at him like, yeah, he is, man.
So he putting you in a bad spot with the other bro. So you
not really.
Nah, but you're the new guy coming in. So as you the new guy coming in, you're the new ref coming in this situation, right?
No, refs is whatever.
But how long have you been reffing in this particular space?
4 years.
No, so this particular space with these refs, you've been reffing with them for 4 years.
Well, the way that referees go is like you got crew, like okay, you have a chapter, right? And the chapter you can go wherever.
I understand all.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been in that league for 4 years.
You've been in that league for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you've had 4 years of experience from time to time with the crew you were reffing with.
Well, I know one guy. You know what I'm saying? I've had him. I've repped him by like 10 times over the last 4 years.
So the coach is telling you about
the guy that I know, and he's talking about him.
He's telling you about their refereeing stuff.
And he's spot on about him.
Right.
He's 100% spot on. Like he's not saying he's saying some very derogatory, fucked up things about him.
Yeah.
But everything he's saying is spot on.
Are they true?
I said they're spot on. It's true as hell.
So why you don't go to the ref like in between like intermissions, but hey man, look, you got to clean up your act, bro.
It's not what it is.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't go to him like, man, you can't just be no cornbread bitch ass nigga. You know.
Well, no, you can't say it like that. You can't say it like that. Yeah, but hey man, you gotta call this you gotta call a fair game now, guy.
He's calling it fair.
So what's the problem then? It's not like if he's calling a fair game and he's good at what he does, is he good at what he does as a ref?
Well, refereeing is subjective, bro.
All right. I understand that. You are correct.
It's 100% subjective.
But being the analyst that you are, the expert of the game as you are, even though reffing is subjective, if you had to rate the reffing of your coworker, would you say he's because you know if he's a good ref or bad ref?
But that's a tough question, bro. That's a tough question.
In your 10 games you've worked with him in your observations, would you say he's a good ref?
That's a tough question, man.
I don't think it's that tough.
It is. You know why? Because it's tough because like, does he make bad calls? Everybody make bad calls. The best referee makes bad calls.
The best referee makes bad calls.
Yeah.
But how often is he making bad calls?
It's not about the often. It's like
No, how often he's making bad calls?
I mean, at the regularity to everybody else.
I don't. That's not true. Well, I'm not gonna say that's not true.
Yeah.
I will say that I don't think that like you know.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Let me explain. What I'm saying is like, so perfect example. If me and you went somewhere and refed, there are some calls that you probably might not make because you'd be like, man, that was some whole ass shit, or that wasn't enough. And it might be a call that I might make, be like, well, yeah, he didn't really do much, but what he did, he impeded the way he would shoot. Like it might be stuff as a hooper that I might call because I know as a hooper that affects my shot, right? So like even though like it's interpretive and it's what I just said, the word I just said, it's like
I feel like you're dancing around it. Like
I'm saying
I've been around.
Hold on, me and you might boom, right? We might hit, right?
Yeah.
So it's interpretive, right? So you might think, oh, y'all bumped, no call, keep playing. I might be like, yeah, y'all bumped, but shit, you was there first, kind of, and he hit you up. I seen him coming, he hit you first, even though he can do it legally. That was some whole ass shit, and he know what he was doing. Or you can interpret it 5 different ways from the same play. And
that's true.
Like if we talk football or basketball, anything, a person who plays the game and plays it at a certain level might have a different perspective than somebody who really never played. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll say this. I've been around, I haven't been around it recently, but I've been around reffing long enough to know when we played in our leagues and some other things, and I got to the gym and I saw a certain set of referees. I knew it was going to be, oh man, these clowns, man, they can't call no game. And yes, that when I say these clowns can't call no game, there's one guy in particular who moonlit as a substitute teacher as well. He was a horrible ref.
Yeah.
The horrible of horrible refs.
Yeah, yeah.
When I walked in the gym and I saw this fat, chubby dude with these short braids in his head,
yeah,
I knew that A, we're not going to get a fair game called, and B,
he's a coach now, by the way.
I don't care. He shouldn't be a coach.
I know.
And B, when I see him make said calls, he probably doesn't know what he's calling.
I had to take him a couple weeks ago.
Now, when I walk in the gym and I would see Harvey in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Harvey.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna get it's gonna be a fair, it's gonna be a fair game call.
Yeah.
Harvey might miss a call.
Yeah. He might make a call that you don't like.
He might make a call I don't like, and he might miss a call.
Yeah.
But I know he's gonna be a fair ref down the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know he might miss a call for us. He's gonna miss a call for them. He might give us a call we shouldn't have had. He's gonna give them a call they shouldn't have had.
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is when you walk in the gym and you see who's on your reffing team,
yeah,
do you feel like this person is okay, he's a good ref, he gonna call a fair game? Or do you feel like, you know what? Not only is he not a decent ref, I might have to kind of make sure I watch this game even more closely to make sure I catch the calls he don't make.
No. I feel like he gonna, like, this is what it is. He gonna call a game from the perspective of a referee 100%. So it's not that he making bad calls or good calls. It's like he calling it down, like straight down.
So he's a fair ref.
Not even fair. He just like,
I'm asking, is he a fair ref?
Yeah, somewhat. No, not really fair.
That's what I'm saying.
Really.
See, that's where it's
tricky, bro. Because like,
I don't think it. I understand what you're trying to say, but I don't think it's that. Look, are you a fair referee? Yes or no? Do you call a fair game? You can answer if someone calls a fair game, yes or no.
No, because like this is an example, right? So it's like, okay, I go for a shot, I go for a layup, right? I swing for the block, I miss the block, hit you in the head, right? That's a foul, right?
Is he calling it both ways?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a foul, right?
Let me
finish.
I thought you was asking me a question.
No, is it the foul, right?
You're asking me a question.
Yeah,
it's foul.
Okay, now I can't call it. I can't call it a technical foul because I hit you in the head.
Okay, that's fine. But are you calling it a foul?
That's what I'm saying. But
no, I'm asking you, are you calling it a foul?
But I could call it tech.
No, time out. I'm asking you, are you just calling it a regular foul? I understand I could call it a tech. I'm asking you in said example, are you just calling it a regular foul?
He calling it a tech.
All right, cool. He's calling it a tech.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Is he calling it a tech both ways?
But that's not going to happen.
No, I'm asking you, is he calling it a tech? When it happens, is he calling it a tech both ways?
Happen but one time.
But okay, I understand It might not happen but one time.
So I don't know if he called it both ways.
Well, okay, I don't. Then I'm at a loss because my whole thing is.
But I ain't got to call. But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you clearly see that what I was doing wasn't malicious. You're going by textbook. You're going by the rule of the hand. Like if it hits the head a little bit, that's technical. That's a flagrant foul. Like you ain't, man. He wasn't trying to hurt that.
As long as he calls it that way both ways, then no. Well, let me finish.
Yeah.
As long as he calls it that way both ways, I feel like he's a ref calling a fair game. Now you can argue like, come on, ref. I get that you're calling the game by the letter of the law, but that wasn't a malicious hit.
Yeah.
I get that you could tell him that. And his response is going to be, well, by the letter of the law, he hit him on the top of the head. It's a flagrant one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
As long as he's calling it both ways down the middle, I feel like that's a fair ref. Now, if you ask me, though I think he's a good ref, I bet, well, come on, ref. You know that wasn't a malicious play. They were just playing the ball and the guy got tapped on the head. You got to be able to discern or decipher regular contact foul or excessive contact foul.
But that's not his job, though.
If I'm the referee, it's my job to call the game and determine if that was excessive or not.
No, not. That's why they had the law.
Oh, see, I thought that was the whole reasoning, but like that's my job to say if that was an excessive flagrant foul or not.
Your job is to call it or not call it, but I'm saying it's like, well, that's why I'm saying it's kind of murky, and that's why I'm saying it's different ways of looking at it, because like a hooper gonna be like, shit, nah, he was going for the block, he hit me. You know what I'm saying? But then a non-hooper, it's somebody who never really hooped and is a ref, it's gonna be like, oh, the law said, like a cop.
The law says he got hit on top of the head. It's a flagrant one. Boom.
You were going
flagrant one. Boom.
You were going 47 and then 45, man. You get a ticket.
Yeah, you get a ticket.
But
or I give you warning.
But a different cop, I can give you warning. But if he give you a ticket and you're like, man, I was going 2 miles over, bro. You know what I'm saying? Is that a good cop or a bad cop? It's not really good or bad. It's just like he just super ass strict. You know what I'm saying? And like sometimes that shit can make shit bubble into bigger shit. Cause like now I'm like, damn, man, you didn't call this strict ass shit. You know, it's not that you ain't calling both ways, but you didn't fuck the game off.
He ain't fucked the game off. He just called the game. He called the game to the letter of the law, I guess.
But I'm saying you've made like we're playing, like both teams are playing a certain way. Like I'm saying, that's the perspective part. If I see two teams that are aggressive, right? As a ref, you can be like, I'm not letting y'all play aggressive. Yeah. Or I can be like, okay, if both of y'all playing aggressive, then shit, I'm not gonna call no flagrant foul, or because both of y'all are doing this shit and y'all not trying to hurt. This is how y'all play.
So it sounds like at that point, you're calling the game the best way you want to call it. Do the climate like if you like, all right, I might have worded that wrong. I know you'd be watching like a playoff game, and you know, or it could be a game and it's a little chippy. You got two teams don't like each other, and before it gets out of hand, you know, the ref blow the whistle, flagrant. He's setting the tone of the game. We ain't gonna have no nonsense going on. So now you gotta adjust and you gotta play to the climate of what the refs are dictating. I know that doesn't make good for good basketball, because now when you do that, or football, because now when you're doing that, you're not allowing, you know, the players to actually go out there and play. You call them tick for tack penalties.
Yeah, exactly. How about this? You could literally call holding on every player in the NFL, right?
Yeah, you can.
But you have to discern. You
probably can call holding and pass interference on every player.
Yeah, but you have to discern, like, okay, what was this hold something? Was this like even in basketball, like a lot of the arguments of ref and coaches be like, okay, you ain't called this foul. I'm like, well, if I called that foul right there, you wouldn't even got to the layup.
I think carrying was a hot topic at one point. At one point, I think they said you probably could call carrying every possession.
You really can, but you can't. Yeah. You can't, because some players carry all the time, right? Some players don't.
Like AI, you probably call carrying every possession on AI. Sometimes some people say Kyrie, you can call carrying on Kyrie every.
Not so much Kyrie, like the Giannis's and the Bronze, those big guys.
Oh, Giannis be taking like 5 steps, bro.
Those big guys who take the ball and turn it, and then turn it.
Yeah, you can't turn it.
You can't turn your wrist. You know what I'm saying? Not so much of a James Harden or a Kyrie, because those guys really have.
I can do this though.
You can put it on the side. You can't.
I just can't do this.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But all that being said, so then Guy looks at me, like, you gonna let this type of nigga, this is his exact words, you gonna let this type of nigga dictate the game, man? This nigga ain't blah, blah, blah. He started going off on him to me, not loud, but she's like, man, come on, JB, man, this nigga, da, 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 da. I'm like, you right, man.
I feel he was using y'all's relationship for his own benefit.
But it's the truth, though. It ain't like he just. But that's what she's supposed to do. That's what relationships are for.
To put you in a bad spot.
No, relationships are for, like, if this person over here is doing some hoe ass shit and being a certain type of way, and you my guy, I'm gonna tell you, hey man, come on, bro. Man, don't let him do that to me, man. That's you, bro. We gotta let you so fuck with me. I fuck with you.
You the police, and you got a new partner, and your new partner pulled me over.
Yeah.
And you get to the car now. I got a little bit of weed on me in an open container, and he's reading the letter of the law. And he's getting ready to put me in cuffs.
I'm like, man, come on, bro.
And I say, hey, don't let this old horny ass nigga take me to jail over, a little bit of weed in an open Hennessy bottle. I'm
gonna be like, I'm be like, you right, bro. I'm be like, you right, man. I'm be like, man, hey, come on, man. This is like, we got bigger fish to fry, man. We got bigger, like, this right here is just being an asshole to be an asshole.
Now, what happens if he lets me go? Because you asked him to let me go, and I'm partially under the influence, and I go out there, have a wreck, and I kill 2 people.
Well,
how would you feel? How would your conscience be? Knowing that you could have pulled me off the streets for bullshit slap on the wrist and a night in jail and could have saved 2 lives. How would you feel?
How would I feel?
And I feel like that probably was far extreme, but I'm just asking.
That's what I'm saying. You making these scenarios that is like,
it was gonna come full circle. It was gonna come full circle because in the same vein. Okay, well, I'm not gonna call the tech or the flagrant whatever, and both teams are playing chippy, and as we get to the fourth quarter,
I'm not saying it's no chippy.
I'm just using that example. I'm not saying this exact example.
Yeah.
From what I hear, honestly, I just feel like your partner who was the coach wanted the game called a certain way, and your coworker or your co-ref wasn't calling the game the way he wanted it. So he kind of leveraged his relationship with you to sway the game to be called how he wanted it called.
No, I feel like he was like.
I'm telling you, that's what he did to you.
No, I'm saying if it was that, I would know. Like if he's saying he called the game this way, I'd be like, shit, that's how that man see it. I can't say that's what I say when somebody questions me about what somebody else does in any aspect of life, that's how that man see
it. Well, that's what he did though. He didn't question it. What he said was, "Hey man," and I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But it sounded like he said, "Man, you gonna let this dude call this game this way?" I sound like that's what he said.
That's what he said.
So in
he's
reality,
calling the game that way.
He's questioning the way that the other ref is calling the game, and he wants you to rectify it.
But he's telling me like, man, like if us as hoopers, people who hooped, and he hooped at a high level, up that hooped at a high level, and this is a high level game right here, and it's some hooping going on. Ain't nobody tripping, ain't no chippiness, the players ain't tripping, nobody tripping, right? Ain't no angst, even though it was angst before. In this situation, there's no angst, right? So he like, man, these kids is hooping. They having an experience. They going through something together, and he is making this shit some other shit. He's injecting the way he feel about it.
See, I don't know what any of that means per se.
Okay, so
football.
No,
you can tell me in football terms. All I'm gonna say is this.
You don't get it in football?
I get what you're saying. All I'm gonna say is this. I feel like if it's me, if I truly have that big of an issue with the way that ref in particular has called games in the present and the past.
We're talking about present. This present. Don't add Anthony. This right now.
Well, but he has an experience in the past with him as well.
I don't know.
Well, you just told me he was telling you about how the guys call him game, right?
It's about this game right now.
All right. If I have that big of an issue after the game, I'll report it. I will talk to you about it. or I will go to whoever is in charge of said league.
He probably did.
But I feel like if I'm telling you, if I'm him and I'm saying what I'm saying that he said to you mid-game, it's because he's trying to get you to change the way the game is being called then.
So if let's say you let's say I'm your ref and you're the coach.
Yeah.
And it's a football game.
Yeah.
I done called 3 holds.
3 holds.
In the first quarter.
Yeah. Only on me though.
Yeah. No, I didn't call
both ways.
I didn't call 3 holds both ways, right?
I mean, you know. Okay.
So you ain't gonna be like, come on, bro. They hold every like you making this game, you dictate, you are changing the game by what you calling.
Oh, as a coach, I'm not saying that I wouldn't say that to the referee staff as a whole.
No, hold up. I ain't called 3 holds. He called 3 holds.
Okay.
It's 3 of us out here.
I don't care who called them.
That's what I'm saying. It's 3 of us out here. And out of 3 of us, one dude didn't call 3 holds in the first quarter.
I don't care who called them. If it's me switching quarters, I'm gonna walk out on the field and I'm gonna hit that ref huddle and I'm gonna express to the entire ref huddle how I feel about the bullshit that's called.
And you're a bad coach then.
I guess that's why
that's what I'm saying. Because instead of you going to one of the coaches and saying, hey man, I wanted the refs, like you didn't seen, because you know, refs rotate or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't seen one person call something one way and the other 2 ain't called this shit like that. And you're gonna go to all the refs and be like, y'all, now you're gonna come to one of the refs.
Well,
like, hey man.
I'm not saying that I will go to all the refs and be out of line. What I will say is I'll go to that referee huddle as a whole and address how the game is being officiated.
But we ain't called nothing.
Y'all are 3 refs who work as a team, right?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm asking.
Yeah, and as a team.
Whoa, time out. Y'all are 3 refs that work as a team, right?
Yeah, and as a team, and one person called it.
Time out.
Yeah.
I understand only one person called it, but I'm going to walk up to that referee huddle as a team, and I'm going to ask them about how the game is being officiated.
So, but you hear what I'm saying? So, how you going to ask 3?
Saying clearly,
it's 3 of us.
Because
if 3 of us, if only one called something, you talk to all of us.
I'm talking to all 3 of y'all. Because I'm telling you why.
Yeah.
Because if I go by the example you set, I want you to go talk to him. I'm not. If I go by the example you gave me.
Yeah.
If I'm him, being the coach.
Yeah.
Why would I address you? Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Why would I address you? You ain't making the bad calls.
Exactly.
If I go by the logic that what you just said, then he a bad coach for addressing you. He should have went and addressed the ref who's making the bad calls.
But I'm saying, no, I'm not. Look, if I'm a coach, and I've coached once or twice. If I'm a coach and there's 3 refs out there, and one ref call it one way, he call it one way. He's already displayed to me how he gonna call a game.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking at the other refs during the game and seeing how they call a game. So if these 2 refs is calling it one way, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up with your partner, man?
I'm gonna do that in the huddle of 3. Hey,
so you think I'm gonna go to all 3 of y'all? So now I've made it weird between all of y'all, because now we gotta say you think you're gonna talk to all of us and we're gonna get to him and talk to him?
I'm 100% gonna walk up to all 3 of y'all like, hey guys. You know, we've had some questionable calls in the first quarter.
But we haven't.
But we have had some questionable calls.
For one guy.
I don't care if it's 1 guy or 3. Because in the example you gave me, I'm not going to come up to you and say, hey, man, you going to let your boy call the game like that the whole game? If I go by the example you gave me, I'm not going to walk up to you and say that to you. I'm going to walk up to him and say, hey, man, stop calling this game this way. You're messing up the game.
So,
time out.
Okay,
If I go by the logic of only address the guy who's making the call. What I'm saying is, in my experience and logic, well, you know what? I ain't finna single him out. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna speak. You know, in my example, I'm not talking crazy to nobody. I'm gonna go, hey guys, we've had some questionable calls in the first quarter. Can you give me some clarity on why we calling these calls, and if we're gonna continue to call the rest of the game that way so I can adjust, or B, are we gonna call it a little differently?
So you think
I'm not saying that I'm not saying the conversation is going to be effective. I might go out there.
Why would you make it?
Time out. I might go out there and I might say that and I might piss them off, and now all 3 of them are calling the fuck shit. Or I could go out there and I could explain it to them sensibly, have a sensible conversation, and they get together as a huddle, and then they're like, hey, you know what, bro? Let's loosen up on them calls, man, because I saw you. You know what I'm saying? That last holding call probably wasn't real. You could have let them play. We got to let them play as well. Because being a part of an officiating team, I've had to do that as well. I've been on an officiating team where a coach has come up to all the officials and said, hey, what can you give me some clarity on these calls? And then we, as a referee huddle, have gotten together and somebody check me. Say, bro, you know, you missed them last two travels. You got to call that shit. We got to call it that way both ways. You missed the travels. You know, I missed the hand check or whatever it is.
Well,
and then you
missed the calls though.
I'm just speaking in an example. Whatever it is, we might not be talking about, are you calling it too excessively? Whatever it is, we're talking about how the game is being called. Yeah. Whether if it's you're missing the call or you're over calling the call. We're just speaking about in general how the game is being called.
And then, okay, and then as a ref, if I'm calling the game by the book, I'm calling by the book. So now I'm be like, you want me not to call by the book?
Look, I don't know how that conversation goes.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying so you don't think the referees get together in a group and they talk about how the game's being called?
We do that.
All right.
But what I'm saying is some refs call a game one way, some refs call it different. And I'm saying like, it ain't like at that level, at middle school, high school, you know, whatever, unless most of the time you have assigners and you sign a crew. So if you were the crew, whatever, because I was with a dude, the other dude ref, he's played football. He played for the Oilers, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? We all have expertise in our fields, but long story short, you can tell when somebody is gonna be a certain way. So me going to tell all of y'all about him being the way he gonna be, it's not necessarily that don't seem like an effective way to get him to change. You've seen the way he's calling the game. So you be saying, hey, y'all, what's up with so-and-so? Well, technically, he's not wrong at all. What I'm saying, hey, loosen up. Now you've created a tension between the refs, and now you're gonna
I'm creating tension between the refs when I just tell you about it though.
But once again, you missing the whole point with like, you know me like that. You know me like that. So you're not saying it. I don't know. So division type shit. You saying on some night. So nigga, really, it's me and you, nigga.
Really, because I know you, I'm just telling you he a bad ref. I ain't telling you to go do nothing about it.
You telling me like, hey man, look. You telling me, hey, this nigga tripping, man. So
do I want you to change anything about it?
You definitely want me to make sure.
So I want you to change somebody.
You definitely saying, look, man, you see this nigga tripping. So make sure that we don't get put out this game, because I do the same for you.
So essentially, he's asking you to step in.
He's telling me like, hey man,
he's asking you to step in.
Yeah, of course.
So okay then.
Why wouldn't he?
So if why wouldn't he? So if that's you stepping in, you're gonna do one
question. Why wouldn't he?
Oh, I'm not saying he's wrong for doing it. I'm just saying I'm saying, and it just goes back to his intent of why he told you what he told you.
But why wouldn't he though?
What you mean? Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't if it's you? If it's me and you, and it's another nigga over here doing some fuck shit, why wouldn't you come to me and be like,
you mean in the scheme of refereeing the game?
In anything in life.
Let's talk about the scheme of refereeing the game. Because when we talk about in anything in life, then the answer is going to change depending on what's going on. So let's just keep it on the scheme of refereeing the basketball game.
Refereeing the game. If it's fucking the game off.
So I think I told you earlier, when I said what his intent truly was, his intent truly is to make sure that, I ain't gonna say the calls are favorable. Well, yeah, his intent is to make sure that the calls are favorable for his team.
No, his intent is that the game don't get fucked off.
And that's
favorable, just like nigga, what you calling.
So yeah, it's favorable for the game not to be fucked off. So my team has a fair chance to win. I ain't asking you to go make my team win. I'm saying I want to make sure that the game is being called in a fair way where I have an honest shot to win the game. I don't want to be fucked out of the game over a bogus call.
Over some bullshit, yeah.
That's exactly what he's saying. And so that's his intent, was to talk to you, to get you to talk to the other ref. All I'm saying is, and I get it, you guys actually have a relationship, so maybe he felt comfortable with talking to you to get you to talk to your man or just take over the call. So now you have to figure out how you're going to do it. Am I either just going to make that call that he was supposed to make, that he was in a better position to make, but I'm going to make the call or overturn a call, or at the break, whether if it's in between quarters, at a timeout, I'm going to go talk to my man about how he's calling the game. Either way it goes, your friend who was the coach wanted you to interject in the way that the other ref was calling the game.
Why wouldn't he?
I'm not arguing it. Why would he or why would he not? I'm not arguing that. But I'm not arguing that at all. That's not even a thing to argue.
So what I'm saying, so You think
It's not even a thing to argue.
No, you said he's trying to get me to influence the game, and I'm saying he's just trying to get. He's just keeping it real with his partner.
Okay,
and she's just like, man, hey man, this nigga.
But at that time, y'all partners. But at that time, you're ref, he's coach.
But he's out my partner. To start there, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm refereeing or rapping or fighting or whatever, if my partner over here give me put me on game or say something to me, I'm not gonna be like, well, no, I can't.
Well, see, now it gets murky because he's my partner. I'm gonna look now it gets murky because if I just throw in, no matter what the climate is, if I'm just throwing in that's my partner, then I'm 100% at all times gonna make sure my partner is in the most favorable position that they can be in. And if I listen to what I'm saying,
why I gotta do that? Why I gotta
listen to what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's just my partner,
yeah,
I'm gonna look out for my partner. So if my partner come in a dealership, if I can give you the best discount ever in life, man, I'm finna go. If I can give you the employee discount, that we don't give regular guests, but you my partner, I'm gonna look out. So if I can give you the employee discount, give you this for free, that for free,
okay,
I'm gonna do the shit.
Okay,
so I'm gonna look out for my partner and make sure that my partner is in the most favorable position that I can influence.
That's different.
No. No, it's not different.
Yes, it is.
And that's why I told you
it's different.
That's why I told you I'm gonna leave it in the climate of basketball, the coach versus ref. So at the time, once the whistle blows, we partners.
Yeah.
But I'm a ref and you a coach. So them 4 quarters, we ain't partners. We
Tell me.
Well, I'm just saying
Go ahead.
within them 4 quarters, we the ref and the coach. We ain't partners.
But question.
All right.
We ref the coach.
Yeah.
Am I gonna let somebody influence the game on some whole shit?
Whether if that was your partner coaching or not, you shouldn't let them influence the game. So at that point, you being the ref, and you see your other ref is making bad calls.
But it's not that he's making bad calls.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like but I feel like
you can't
time out. I feel like you got to put a label on it because if you're let me finish. If you're saying it's murky where it really ain't no bad call, well, when your man say what he say to you, you really can't say, well, nah, he calling the game by the rule of the book. How he call it?
Because but like
so at that point,
some hoe like, do you think that real hoopers, like real football players, real hoopers, but do you think they have a large influence on some of the rules?
Of course they do. I think LeBron James has a large influence on rules. If LeBron James, we've seen LeBron James not get a call and bitch at the refs and then get a free call the next way down.
You talking about in the game? I'm talking about the actual rules of the game. I'm talking about like when they making it committed. Like if that was the case, James Harden, nigga, they okay. Let's switch the whole subject. The reason why I think that LeBron James not a great.
Oh man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Give me.
I don't want to do that.
Hold on. Let me finish.
I don't want to do that.
It's 10:21. I'm not gonna talk about. We got 3 minutes of this. 3 minutes. All right.
I don't want
3 minutes. I'm gonna tell you why. But you know what I'm saying. See, you talking about you objecting.
No. I'm not saying I know what you're gonna say.
Okay, then give me 3 minutes to say what I'm saying. I can say
what you're gonna say, man.
Look, what rule did they change for LeBron James?
Oh, I don't know.
None.
I'm not saying that they changed the rule for LeBron. We've seen LeBron James in games.
No, but
okay, time out.
Keep going.
We saw LeBron James in games, and it's not only LeBron James. We've seen great players, superstar caliber players in games, not get a call, bark at the ref, and then the next possession, all of a sudden they get the next 3 calls, and we don't know where they came from. We've seen that before.
Okay, boy, I'm talking about them niggas is like, hey man, you know what, man? No more dunking, man. No more dunking. If you dunk, it's a technical foul, man. Because if you dunk, man, that means that this dude right here, we can't stop him if he dunks. So we don't want dunking.
I think we're talking about 2 different things. But go ahead, though.
That's what I'm saying. If you that's changing the rules, not influencing the game with my star power, but saying that you are so good that we gotta change the rules of the game.
Do you know the racist undertones of why they removed dunking from the game?
No, it's no racist undertones, bro. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is why it stopped dunking, bro.
I know.
But no racist. It's like the nigga was unstoppable, bro.
Come on. You mean to tell me you're a hooper and you haven't read the story?
Bruh.
I'm asking you haven't read the story?
The reason why they stopped.
I know exactly why they stopped because I read the story. I'm asking you never read this piece?
I didn't have to read the piece, bro.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Okay.
See, I'm not saying I had to read the piece to know that that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the reason why they stopped dunking.
Yeah,
I'm asking you,
Yeah.
have you read the piece about it?
No, I haven't read the piece.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, however you frame it, it's because that if they would allow dunking in the game, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would have been 12 times as great as he already is, right?
Mhm.
When Lakeem Olajuwon and the Rockets was killing with that inside-outside, they changed the rule. It's like, you know what, man, now we got to change the three-point line because what they doing, if they do what they doing with this, there's no way that we can beat these Rockets. There's no way the league, when James Harden was busting the free throw record every year for 5 years straight, there's like, you know what? We gotta change the rule of the NBA of how we call this thing, because if not, he's gonna score 30 points a game just from the free throw line. That's measure. Not saying that LeBron James ain't great, because he's great, but I'm saying there's different levels of greatness. And you talking about we're really picking at hairs, kind of. But
I'm not. You are.
What I'm saying is they literally changed the rules of the bat. The rule was this in 2000 and something, and in 2000 next year, like, nah, the rule ain't that no more. Because if the rule was that, he would be doing this, that, and other.
All right, cool. Now bring it back full circle, how that pertains to referees and how they call the game.
So what I'm saying is, if the way the game is called is not based on how players play, it's based on how these other people decide players should play. Let's talk about charges. Let's talk about fouls, flagrant fouls, certain calls. Like they say now, in if you get hit above the shoulders, it's a flagrant foul.
So if I'm a referee, I'm not refereeing the game questioning if this rule should be a rule. My job is to call the game based on the rules that are already set in place. Is that correct?
Yes, okay. Somewhat.
Whoa, time out. Whoa.
Somewhat.
Explain the somewhat.
Because if everybody shoots above their head, there's not many players that shoot from right here, right? So everybody shoots up here above their head. So every play on the ball with your hands is gonna be above your head. So you're saying that the only time I can foul and it not be a foul is if I hit your hands. But we're moving creatures and moving. So if
one more time, the only time I foul is not a foul if I hit your hands.
No, the only time I foul is not a flagrant foul is if I hit your hands. Right?
Okay.
But we're moving. I'm doing all this crazy stuff with my hands. So if you put the ball here and move it here and I swing there and I miss you, I'm gonna hit your head.
And I clock you upside the head.
But the ball was here.
And I moved the ball.
But
with me moving the ball, your arm still swung and slapped me upside my head.
Yeah.
And so the ref can't call a flagrant on that.
Yes, he can't call flagrant.
He can call flagrant because that's the letter of the law. He can call flagrant.
But the actuality is you baited me to swing at the ball because you put the ball here.
Doesn't matter.
It literally matters.
Doesn't matter. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think you should call a flagrant or not?
Depends on the play.
So give me an example. Give me two examples. Give me one example of I'm not calling the foul of how it happened, and then give me an example of when I do call the flagrant foul.
All right. The example of not calling it is if I throw a pump fake and you fly by and you're reaching for the ball and you move the ball away from the ball with my face, and I'm swinging for the ball, you move and hit him in the face. I'm not calling a flagrant.
All right.
Now, if I'm going for the shot and you just come full speed and rack me over the face on purpose, or you don't make a play on the ball, because the rules doesn't say about making a play on the ball. The rule says if you get hit above the shoulders.
Yeah. So
there's interpretation in there but like I said, in the same breath, everybody in the NBA at high school, middle school is shooting above you're not shooting from here.
So let me ask you a question.
Shooting above your shoulders.
Do you think the coach that was upset because the guy was calling him the calls through his interpretation and he felt like he was a trash ref? Do you feel like there could also be a coach on another side that, maybe a ref like you who's not calling those calls all the way that way, could say, you know what, he's a trash ref because if you get hit across the face, that should be a flagrant. Do you think that could be something too?
I'm saying,
I'm asking.
No, what I'm saying is that
No, I know. I'm not asking what you're saying. I'm asking, do you think that could be a thing?
nigga, anything could be a thing.
See, that's no, Bug. You know what I'm saying. Bug, JB, time out. I gave you a clear example, and you know what I'm saying.
What you saying? Do I think that there's somebody who think that he's not bad?
No.
I'm asking. I'm trying to understand.
Never mind, bro.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
All right. So what is the whole? What was your guy's whole beef with this ref? It was the fact that he felt like he was calling the game in a way that wouldn't allow the kids to play. Right.
He was calling the game as if he was calling the game from the perspective of somebody who didn't understand the ebb and flow of a basketball game.
But it sounds like this guy was calling the game by the letter of the law.
He was and you can be a referee and not know how the ebb and
I'm
flow.
not. I get that. So
yeah.
I'm asking you. Let's say if you're a referee who is not calling the game by the letter of the law, but you're calling about the ebbs and the flows of the game.
Yeah.
Do you think that there could be a coach that wouldn't like that and would think that, hey man, this guy don't know what he's doing? Or are you gonna let this guy call this game no way? Do you think it could go both ways?
No.
Okay. All right. Because
if you're calling the game by the ebb and flow of the game, that means you're allowing the players to decide what's going on, and you're not dictating the game. So if I'm a coach and you're calling the game as the players are playing.
I'm a coach and my kid just got hit across the face.
Yeah.
And you didn't call it a flagrant.
Yeah.
But the letter of the law says if I get hit above the shoulders, it's a flagrant one.
Yeah.
And I run out on the court, not in a crazy way, but I come out on the court and say, hey man.
Yeah.
That was a flagrant. You gonna call it next time?
And then I would say to you, coach, he was making a play on the ball and your player moved the ball away.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The rules don't say if the ball was moved away. The rules say if you get hit above the shoulders, it's a flagrant. He got hit above the shoulders, it's a flagrant. Can you please make that call next time?
And I would say coach, I'm going to call the game according to how the game is being played. Cool.
Yeah. Now what happens when Jamez feels the way he felt and that ref tells him that exact same phrase? Because to me, it sounds like that exact same phrase you just told me, that ref could have told that coach that, and it applied as well. I'm saying, can it apply?
That's what I'm saying. I said it before. I said, if I asked you, do you think the people who making the rules are players, or you think it's people who didn't play? Or because I can make a rule. Perfect. Hold. You can end the part of this right here. Do you think it's a fair rule that you can't leave the bench when there's a skirmish?
Yeah.
Now let me tell you how idiotic that is.
I'm gonna tell you, but I have a reason why I said yeah though.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you how not for you, but for somebody how idiotic that rule is. So the person, it could be a guy in front of you getting pummeled, and you got to sit there and just watch it. Literally, your teammate could be right in front of you, the person that you've been with for the last 3 years, 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever. This guy could be best friend with your wife and your kids, right in front of you, 2 feet, and you got to sit there and watch it.
I want to say I was.
I didn't.
But I understand.
But I'm asking you.
I told you I answered the question. I understand why the rule is that. So yes, I understand. Yes, I understand why. I understand why the rule is in place. So I'll tell you. Yes,
I didn't answer that question.
I answered the question you asked.
I didn't answer that question.
No, I answered the original question.
What was the question? What was the
you asked me, do I think it's a fair rule if you can leave the bench during a scrimmage? That's what you asked me.
Yeah.
And I answered the question. I said yeah.
Yeah. So question. I'm gonna let you cook. That's what I'm saying. So I could be coming off the bench to break it up.
Yeah, you could be.
But even me breaking it up, I'm still fined as if I came on the foul.
Yeah.
Think that's a fair and smart rule, or even logical rule?
Yeah, I think it's a fair rule. I don't think it's going to be followed. I understand why someone would clear the bench when they see their teammate in a scrimmage, but I do understand why the rule is in place. So I will say, yes, the rule is a fair rule.
Okay, tell me why you think it's fair.
I think the rule is a fair rule because the whole purpose is to control the temperature of the game, make sure no other players get involved or getting hurt. Prime example. My guy can get pummeled. I can be coming off the bench to break up the fight. But someone who was on the team can see me coming off the bench and say, oh, he running off the bench to hit my man. And now he comes over and he punches me. And so now, oh, they punched my man. And now it's this big brawl. going on the court. So I understand why they don't want you who are on the sideline to come off the bench. I do feel like there are enough people already on the court that can break up the fight and calm down the altercation without adding more people to the altercation. So that's why I will say I understand why the rule is there, and I think it's a fair rule. I'll say that.
I don't think it makes sense.
I mean, that's your opinion,
Yeah.
and I respect your opinion, and I can understand why you say that.
What I'm saying is this: it's one thing to say you can't leave the bench and what's called it. Another thing to say, hey man, they fighting. I came and I broke it up, and you fined me $25,000 still.
Let me ask you a question.
What?
When the pitcher hits the when the pitcher hits the batter,
Yeah,
and the batter charges the mound,
Mhm.
and both dugouts clear out,
yeah,
and you look at this mess of a dugout clearing,
yeah.
who's fighting and who's breaking up? Can you now you probably can see some people who are antagonists and who are not, but in the grand scheme of things, when I'm sitting here looking at all this shit, man, it could be one dude truly breaking up the fight and 5 side fights happening and 4 more about to happen.
Watch this though. Watch this. It's not a fine in MLB. Leave the bench though.
Well, I know, because they don't find you to lead a bench in the MLB. So actually fighting in baseball and hockey is a part of the culture. So
I'm saying it's not a fine. So I'm saying
it's a part of the culture.
Yeah, but
they also haven't had a fight that, and now I don't know when this fine was implemented. I'm assuming it was implemented after the Malice in the Palace. I could be wrong. I'm assuming that's when it was implemented.
It's very much,
but I don't think that, and I could be wrong. I don't watch as much hockey and baseball as I do basketball and football.
Yeah.
I do know that the fields of play are a little bit more separated from the ongoers than it is. But I don't recall seeing fights spill over into the bleachers at a baseball or hockey game. I could be wrong.
You're 100% wrong.
No, I told you I haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's been fights.
Yeah, what is the most popular fight that happened in baseball where it spilled over into the bleachers and patrons of the baseball game got beat up?
They have fights in baseball. No, baseball has AAA, right?
So at this point, I'm talking about the MLB. I understand that I'm not talking about your side of the road AA and AAA at the Skeeter's Palace or playing at the ballparks of America. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about MLB, national TV. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about AA and single A.
Well, it's a difference between hockey. You can't put hockey and baseball in the same because there's literally barriers.
That's what I said at first. That literally I led with that.
There are barriers between.
I literally led with that.
There have been fights between players and fans.
I'm pretty sure that has happened. I'm pretty sure in the 100+ years of baseball, a fan has got the shit beat out of them by a baseball player. I'm not, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about recent times. The Palace and the Malice, the Malice and the Palace look bad. So I understand why they implemented the rule. I just feel like the referee is not on the court or the field to police the rule that they feel like shouldn't be in the rule book. I think their job is to police and enforce said rules that are on the rule book.
Even if the rule doesn't make sense.
Look, you signed up for it. So yes, even if the rule doesn't make sense, your job is to enforce said rules of the game.
So
now, let me finish. Okay. In the off season, I don't know how that works, but maybe that is the time. I'm pretty sure they have a time where owners, coaches, whatever committee it is that they have that makes these rulings on new rules or not. I would hope that some representative of the officials are at these meetings. Maybe that's the time to fight rules that you feel like is stupid. But
it's more. But also, I'm saying it's players too.
Look, I didn't argue who's on the panel.
I'm just saying that, like, so in that instance, when you're going 46 and 45, you're like, you should go to jail.
Look, you get pulled over. It's happened to us. I've been pulled over all the way out of bounds. And I've had a cop that has showed leniency. He said, you know what? Hey, slow it down, take it home. And I've been pulled over going 3 miles over the speed limit and still got a speeding ticket.
But you go to jail though.
Well, because I didn't do anything that warranted me to go to jail.
I'm not talking no more.
But Boogie, me calling the correct call of a flagrant foul isn't the same as warranting me to go to jail.
You can go. Why not? It's the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Okay. Well,
It's not the same thing.
It's how you feel. That's not how I feel.
You mean to tell me that a flagrant foul 1 is the same thing as being pulled over and going to jail for having narcotics, or just being pulled over and going to jail?
Yes, because the flagrant foul 1 means I get 2. It means I get 2 free shots and the ball. And going to jail is like, it's the same thing, bro. It's the most extreme thing you can do in that situation.
If I get pulled over for something and the consequences of what I got pulled over for mean I go to jail, I can't get mad if I go to jail.
Hold on. Okay.
I can't. If I get pulled over right now with an open container and
say you're going 2 miles over the speed limit, man.
Well, you can't go to jail for going 2 miles over the speed limit. Let me finish. I can't go to jail for going 2 miles over the speed limit unless I'm in violation of some other things as well.
No, I'm saying that I'm saying that the most extreme thing that can happen, because I can also, a flagrant 2, I can put you out the game. So I can say, okay, this is a flagrant, you got hit on top of the head, it's a flagrant 2, you're out the game. That's the most extreme thing that can happen to get thrown out the game. So going 2 miles over the speed limit, most extreme thing that can happen, go to jail. That's equivalent.
Why would I go to jail for going 2 miles over the speed limit? I'm just asking.
Why would I get out the game for hitting?
No, talking about. Because no, don't do that. Why would I go to jail? Because in the flagrant 1 or 2,
you hear me? Keep going.
In the flagrant 1 or 2, the rules spell out the conditions of what it is and what could happen, correct? So it ain't like if you get this flagrant 2, oh, you could get kicked out of the game.
Yeah, you could.
No, let me finish. It's not like if the flagrant 2 was here, oh, you could get kicked out. From my understanding, the interpretation is if it's a flagrant 2, you are kicked out. Right?
Oh, you could be kicked out.
No. I thought a certain flagrant foul carries the automatic you're out the game. Prime example.
Freeze. No, freeze.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I'm not freezing. In college football, I saw the play. The letter of the law was if it's a helmet to helmet, whatever it was on a defenseless receiver or player, it's automatic. You get kicked out the game.
But you
let me finish.
But you interpret.
Let me finish.
But you tell me.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
They said call on a defensive back, and they kicked him out the game.
But it's interpretation.
But I'm gonna tell you, no, it wasn't interpretation.
It is.
All right, you got a book.
Interpretation, because you're saying that when I call it, I call it as this. I could be like, nah, it wasn't what you call it, or I'm telling you what I saw. I can interpret it as an accident. I can interpret it as purposely. I'm interpreting what I saw. He might be like, man, I tripped and fell. He might be like, I ain't spear him.
It don't matter. The letter of the law is helmet to helmet. It don't matter if you tripped. It don't matter if you tried to spear him. It don't matter if the receiver ducked, and that's when the helmet to helmet happened. If it's they called it by the letter of the law, helmet to helmet on a defenseless receiver. It don't matter if you're making a play on the ball, and it was a flagrant foul. I mean, it was whatever that call. It's not flagrant, but it was whatever it was. They called it. They kicked him out the game.
I got to hear it.
And this has been another episode of the 16 Shots Podcast with one young James Boogie. Hey, ArDuBB.
Tell me how you took, and I'm gonna tell you what I meant.